Don't say anything else. Big up, everyone. Welcome to Casually Chelsea Show. Welcome to Casually FC.
Whoa,
What the hell is going on?
that
Okay.
is a massive improvement. I've got to tell you, that is a huge improvement. Ahmed, that is huge. That is, no, damn.
Ahmed's in hiding because there's no transfer news.
I didn't realize Hunter was joining us.
Big up to everyone. Smash up the like if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Also, check out the links in the description below for more content. I'm accompanied by the panel of the Bridge Nation, Winter Surfer, Scott, Real Chicken Nugget Chris, and myself, Marshall DVDX, Casually FC. Sorry for the tardiness, guys. There was a lot of news I was trying to put together last minute, so we got it all here. And without any more dilly-dally, just be sure to check out memberships if you already are a subscriber. And let's get right into it. First things first is Strasbourg. So a little bit of news with Strasbourg, a little bit of insight. As you guys know, things have been going pretty well for Strasbourg. They look like they have potential to make it into a European spot. And there's been some transfers going on for them. Things have been looking on the up and up. A lot of good stats in favor to them. So life is good over at Strasbourg. I bring it up, though, because this tweet came out from The Athletic in accordance to Strasbourg. And we have a little bit of Strasbourg transfer news. Strasbourg remain a deeply conflicted club. Blue Clothes investment has created ambitions of European qualification rather than for survival in Ligue 1, but for many, there is discomfort at the idea of being a cog in Chelsea's machine. And on Strasbourg signings. So this was something that came out some time ago, but it's concluded that Deportivo La Coruna, we were in for Yerime, I think that's how you say this player's name. We got rejected. It was a 15 million euro bid for Strasbourg. Deportivo La Coruña are decided to keep him until the end of the season with the same clause, same contract. Deport president believes he convinced Yereme after bids from Italy as well. So a talent that we were trying to get for Strasbourg that didn't work out. This little mini saga has concluded. It was going on for a little bit. But yeah, guys, so Strasbourg on the up and up. Things are looking pretty good, but hesitancy. Reluctance, a little bit of a discomfort of being a part of the Chelsea, streamline, the Chelsea factory, I guess we would call it that, because of all the youth and all the stuff that we do. Is it justified? Does it make sense? Should the Strasbourg fans be a little bit more grateful, or do you think they have the right to?
I should be more grateful than us.
Nope, I think they should be more grateful because they were doing nothing before this. So just more grateful. They're getting players that they wouldn't have got without us. So they should be grateful. That's what it is. You know what I mean? They were nothing. They could have been Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Bordeaux.
This is true.
We could have bought Bordeaux. I mean,
this is very true. What I will say also is that someone said this to me, and I thought this was really interesting. In terms of Strasbourg, the dynamic that we have going on at Chelsea makes it so that Chelsea can buy and pay those extravagant fees, like the 80 million to 60 million transfer fees, and we have set up Strasbourg in a way where they can manage the wages. And I think that's an interesting setup. I don't know if any of you guys have heard the same thing. I think that's actually pretty smart, if you ask me, in terms of structuring this out. I mean, Scott, do you think that's a nice little loophole we found there to get Strasbourg players? Not really a loophole, but I guess a setup, I should say.
I don't know. I think this is just what happens when you have multiple teams. Obviously, we're only seeing it with Strasbourg to see what they've got, but you see it happen with City or like Forest and Olympiacos more recently. You're even seeing it with the Texter Group. I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen. Who cares? Like, they just signed, I don't know whether permanently or on loan, Thiago Almada from Botafogo. So like this happens all the time.
Great FIFA career mode player, man. Fantastic.
Oh, he's gonna kill be killing the Premier League in like a couple of years' time. He's got that skill set from it.
Yeah, sorry for being late, guys. I just came in the stream and I saw Ahmed and Winter Surfer with the beanie, so I had to get my beanie and
We've got M. Hunter and
Do we all have
joining
to
us.
hunker down?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know what Ahmed's doing, right? I don't know what Ahmed's doing. I generally am cold, right? I don't know what happened the last 10 minutes where I live.
Okay, because the two people I saw with the camera on, besides Marcel, with you guys with the beanie and this whole thing, so I was like, okay, I guess that's the memo. I didn't get it, so I had to quickly get
CP, everyone knows that Ahmed's in his study, so that should be the heating floors, right? I'm in my house, and I don't know what happened like 10 minutes before the stream started. It literally dropped like 5 degrees. It literally dropped 5 degrees.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You know it.
Saw GTA Heist, yeah.
This is that thing in that it's GTA Online when you get everyone trying to dress differently because they want to pick their look.
We're in the menu.
I don't know what Ahmed is. I'm generally cold. It literally dropped so much the temperature. I'm
first.
freezing.
Who gets the least car of all of you?
And I pay for bills. So you know what I mean.
I thought we were just gonna steal the sporting director, kidnap the sporting director. So I was like, okay, that's the outfit. Let's go.
No, I want no. If that happens,
Allegedly.
If that happens, I want them to see my face like that, so they know.
Oh, fair. Apparently, Ahmed wants them to see the word gravity. So I guess.
I think Ahmed's reimagining. I think Ahmed's reimagining his birth. It looks like, man.
You guys know how like they sell, instead of like the sports tape, now they sell the sleeves for your elbows and your knees and stuff. I think that's what that is. I don't think that's actually a mask. You just put one of those knee sleeves over.
I think it's one of those I think it's one of those heating things you put.
Oh, it is a mask. It is a mask. Yeah. Why are you wearing a mask, dude?
Yeah, I got my snowboarding one. So let's go.
Listen, man.
I might get my mask now soon.
Yeah, man. Let's just wrap it up. Strasbourg, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
As the man who loves to watch Ligue, what do you think about Strasbourg?
I get, but you know, I think the reality is, yeah, whether we like to admit or not,
Big up Alexis.
Yeah, we would have liked, yeah, we would have liked it. I don't think, obviously, from one perspective, you wouldn't have liked it if Chelsea had become like a feeder club to another club, right? I think in one sense, I get like their perspective in that regard, of course. Right?
No, yes. I don't. These guys bitch and complain while they were a relegation fodder team, man.
But like, I feel like we're looking at it from a bit more of a. I think we're looking at a bit more from a higher place, right? But I do understand the somewhat perspective, like being like a feeder club now, and like where they were at least, you know, beforehand, they kind of still had their future in their hands somewhat, right? And they could maybe in the next.
You mean the future of relegation? The future? It's like it's like we take over It's like we take over Ipswich, and Ipswich fans start bitching and complaining that we make them from a relegation side to a mid-table European.
Say this, and I do understand they are in a better position now than they ever have been. They literally have, like in France, they have a perfect case study of what could happen, like at the end of this. Like for every Strasbourg or for every Girona, there is a Troyes, like who are in the pits. They're in the second league, and I think they're in the relegation zone. They're in the pits because City stopped giving a shit. They stopped caring.
Yeah.
Scott,
and you know there's one more.
It's not Der Pits, it's Le Pits. It's French, okay? So
Le Pits.
Oh my god!
But you know what? Yeah, and I think the other thing that people forget is they're essentially Chelsea's bitch, put politely. Like any player that blows up there for half a season or a season comes back to Chelsea. Every year, their 3 best players arguably will be 3 Chelsea loanees that will have no intention of staying there, and there's no way like those fans are going to build an affinity to any of those players because those players are literally going to be on a revolving door system. Like that's this Sark kid that they signed 6 months ago from Lyon. He's already...
Wait, he's been there 6 months?
Yeah. They stole him from Lyon for 10 million.
Lyon fans were like crying, by the way, Scott. Like they were actually pissed that
I thought he'd been there at least longer than 6 months.
No. He joined like last summer. Like it was literally basically what happened was Chelsea must have rated him, didn't want to pay the money, took him to Strasbourg. He's played there, and now they've paid 12 million instead of like having to pay 30 in a year's time where he's got Ligue 1 games under his belt. And the reality is like, the reality is like, for those fans, I get why they're moaning, but at the same time, there's a reason you're gonna get potentially Europa League next year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like a balance.
Also,
That's what it is.
Yeah, I also don't think it helps that, like, ultimately, like, you are right, and they have got good players in. It doesn't help one of the first things these guys did when they came in is sold their most experienced or second most experienced player, who has now gone on to be one of the best keepers in the Premier League. That would vex me to another level. If I saw what Sells was doing at Forest, that would vex me to another level. And they already rioted when that happened. When he got sold and they were in the relegation zone or they were fighting bottom table, they nearly rioted. And now he's one of the best keepers in the Premier League.
I think they're going to be very upset when they get Sanchez on loan next season. That's probably going to be mad for them.
Bro, they're going to get Penders on loan next season.
They might bomb
evil.
Scott, because you know how you and Carlos were saying, like,
Penders is a good shout, actually. Penders is a good shout.
Yeah, you know how you guys were saying there's Chelsea's bitch. Well, before we came in, they were the French league's bitch because they were going to get relegated. So rather be our bitches than the French.
Yeah, but then the argument here is, would you rather be owned by someone and essentially always be at their mercy, or would you rather be in your own control?
I'd rather be winning more games, so I don't care who I'm under as long as I'm not relegated.
Hey, so we know you could get bought then.
I want to win. I want to win.
Pirate has a price.
If we're fully buying. If we're buying the best players in the world and we're owned by a conglomerate, I don't give a shit. We're winning leagues. I don't care. We're winning more. Buy me out.
But they're never gonna win
bought
leagues.
Out. Yeah, but they're higher than relegation. They're gonna be in the Conference League maybe next season. They could win a trophy in their lives.
Yeah, but like, I get that they're gonna win a trophy in their life, but like realistically, they are capped at where the maximum they can ever reach in their future is. That's the point. That's why.
Imagine, they make Champions League. This is the example. They make Champions League. They will have to sacrifice their Champions League spot if Chelsea's in it. And have to go into the Europa League.
That was always
that didn't happen because Girona came in. Girona are Champions League.
No, but the rules changed now. The rules changed.
Yeah, but that's also after when we bought Strasbourg as well. So they can't. If Girona can still beat you, what the rules
moving forward under the new format, they literally put this rule in place now because of Nice and because of Girona.
And what about Red Bull then?
The RB situation.
So they're independent ownerships. They are technically under one branch, but they're independent clubs.
Yeah.
I remember RB, like the Red Bull, like they give some level of investment, but they're not like majority shareholders, if that makes sense. Like,
also RB got around it like another way because they're not called Red Bull Leipzig because they weren't allowed to be.
Yeah.
So they got around it with the name. So like, even if they managed to get it, by the way, Red Bull. Sticky one in the Champions League.
Oh yeah,
both go out.
Both of them. Yeah, both of them went out. Yeah,
that's what we're trying to emulate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's happening there is something I definitely want to look into because how the drop off has happened for Red Bull Leipzig or Red Bull, Leipzig, not even Salzburg.
But that's always going to happen, Marshall.
Yeah.
Drop off from what? They're always going to be top half of the Bundesliga, and they're never going to win anything.
They're never in the top.
I think both teams are fifth in their respective leagues. That's not great.
They win a cup every. I think they won a cup.
The Champions League every
no, but like I at least expected them to be like in the playoff spot, for example, in Champions League. You know,
that's fair.
So for them to be immediately like eliminated.
Yeah, but also let's be honest. If Club Brugge didn't give away during the second half, Man City would have been out. So what does that say?
Yeah, I think that was more of a wishful hope.
No, I'm saying is this Champions League is wild. Right, we almost saw Man City drop out. That's what I'm saying.
I think you're right though. If under the old group thing, I think Leipzig would probably finish second in their group and would have got through. This one, it's like now you have to be really serious about these. About the I wouldn't even say group game. Opening stages, qualifying stages. You have to be on your toes essentially. So
guys, don't you think? Their squads are literally designed for severe transition. So, like, for example,
it's true.
Every 2 years is a different team. Every 2 years, like, it's a revolving door system. So they're going to have these seasons where it's an anomaly where they aren't as successful, and then within 18 months we're all going to be like, oh my god, have you seen these players? We should be buying them.
And fair dues, they've lost like over a couple of years. Obviously, they lost in Cuckoo. This past summer, they lost Simikan and Olmo. I mean,
if I'm not mistaken, Sabozlai was there.
Yes, they signed.
Wait, Sabozlai was at Salzburg. Was that Salzburg?
They signed Javi.
No. He was at
Leipzig.
Wait, he went to
Salzburg.
That's what they
Then Leipzig.
That's what they do. That's what they do, bro. They both most of their team.
I thought they picked them up straight from.
No, Sesko's the same too. Sesko's exactly the same.
Szoboszlai, all of these guys.
They signed Javi Simmons. They signed Javi Simmons today, and there's a already report a few hours later they might try and sell him in the summer. So it's
for 80 million euros.
Within 3 hours, they bought Simmons, and now they want to sell him. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just that's what they're built.
Yeah.
They're built for. They're just basically Dortmund in white. That's what they are. You know what I mean? Like,
I can definitely see that. But speaking of selling and buying, obviously we are in a transfer window, and there are
that's a joke.
Allegedly we're in a transfer window. Listen, time will tell. There's things could happen in the very last.
How many days left?
3 days.
3. Oh, we got like 3 days, eh?
Things could happen.
No, 4 days.
We got to hit those famous 48 hours.
1,
Saturday,
2, 3, 4. Oh,
it's already
today's done, so it's 4 days. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So 4 days.
42 hours.
Yeah. It's coming. There'll be 4 days in about 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But my point in bringing this up is that there's been a bit of, I guess, a look at what to hope to expect. I'll say that in the final minutes, because it's a whole lot of like we're gonna plan to do this and plan to do that.
Don't give away your feelings when your voice goes really high. You know that, right? It's like a thing.
It's a sign of when you're lying through your teeth or you're nervous about
listen, because I'm not. Because imagine if I had said what to hope to expect versus what to like. I don't really believe until I actually see it.
Also, Marshall, you have some crimes to pay for, because I was on Flawless's stream and we heard you were doing some Garnacho prop, and I was like,
oh my days!
And I told Surfer, I was like, we need to keep our fan base in check, so we're gonna go after Marshall for this.
We'll talk about Garnacho. Well,
I know.
I'll stand trial.
Yeah,
when
but
we
you're
get to the
trial. I'm just letting you know.
I'll stand trial. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's talk about it. So, according to The Athletic, by process of elimination, the club really need to concentrate their financial resources on finding more goals up top in the striker position and someone to take pressure off Nicholas Jackson. That's coming from The Athletic. And Fabrizio Romano basically saying here, Chelsea advance on several exits. So Casadei to Lazio, almost done. David Washington is closing out his loan to Santos, which we'll talk about very shortly. Harvey Vale, yeah, I feel bad for that one. QPR, apparently that one's on track too. I'm not entirely sure. Caleb Wiley from Watford, sign on loan. So we recalled Caleb Wiley from Strasbourg and put him out on loan to Watford, which I have the tweet somewhere here.
Marshall,
Chelsea, what's up?
Marshall, you know that Casadei thing? I want to ask the panel something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first year Bowley and Co came in, we signed Omari Hutchinson, Diego Moreira.
Oh yeah, I saw your video on this. I know you were saying
Casadei. What's his name? Andre Santos. And there's one more. Oh, so wait. Santos, Carney, Casadei, Moreira, and Hutchinson. The 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We made 23 million profit on Hutchinson, 8 million profit on Moreira. Casadei's leaving on the exact same. What do you mean? No, we didn't.
I swear we made $1 million on Moreira. We sold him for $1 million.
No, we sold him for
8.
No, we sold him for 8. We sold
him for 8. It was 8 million to Strasbourg.
We didn't make that much. We made 20 on Hutchinson as well. We didn't make.
No, so with the Moreira one, we sold him for 3.7, but then it could rise up to like 6 point something basically. Like that would be like the full price plus add-ons. Yes, So
that's pounds. So I think the 8 million you're talking about is in euros.
Yeah. I think maybe,
so I'm talking about 23 million euros for Hutchinson. I checked that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because transfer mark works in euros, so I'm not converting it.
Yeah.
By the way, you forgot to mention, I think Angelo. That's the other, I think, player you forgot about.
Oh yeah, Angelo.
And we sold Angelo for a profit, by the way. That's the only one.
So, like, what I'm saying is, right? Do we just need to ignore these transfers?
Yes.
Because if Santos leaves, if Santos leaves, we're getting at least 40 for him, right? 40 million euros.
50.
But like at least, like
50.
I mean, the thing is, we should, because we made these type of moves under Rome, and the issue is this is the only type of movement we make. So this is the only type of movement we make.
Can I ask you a question?
We can't ignore it because this is all we do. This is the only move we make.
Yeah,
well, that's not true, because in the summer they got us Neto, they got us Felix, they got us.
But you know with the Neto thing, right? It basically came out that the Neto deal was solely handled singularly, pretty much by Igbali.
And George Mendes.
Because he has connections with the agent.
But like the point, I just think for me, the problem I think with ignoring all of them is that, for example, Andre Santos, right? He's clearly turned out to be like a gem of a guy, right? If we sell him, is that not detrimental to us because we're actually losing?
No, I agree with you. I agree. For me, I think Santos should be integrated and be evidence that if you're good enough, you're gonna make it. And that's a way of like, you know how Kobel and James are basically there as emblems of if you're good enough from Kobel, you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you need proof of what's it like? Proof of
concept.
Basically.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, proof of concept. Perfectly put. So for me, it's like, let's do that. But then I think fans having a melt. Like I saw with that Brazilian 16-year-old kid, and then that kid from, I think it was from Kazakhstan that we signed. Bro, they're 15 and 16. I couldn't give a shit.
You know, part of the problem is, I'll be honest. Part of the problem is, like, I don't know why they even been reported on. I'll be honest, I don't know why to be hearing about respectfully a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old, but that's kind of crazy that I'm.
No, but Liverpool did that too when they got Rio, right? I think this is the landscape of transfer now.
I get that, but
that was a big, like, Liverpool made a big deal about signing Rio from us.
They shouldn't, in my opinion.
I know they shouldn't, but everyone wants to know the news and everyone wants to get clicks.
I think part of it's the journals incentivized to get something.
I also think as well it comes down to like the fees and everything, because like for me the thing with the I don't care about the Kazakhstan because I don't think we've heard anything about him outside of like I think he is 17, turns 18 this season, or whatever. I don't know how much we bought him for. That guy with the 16-year-old, we're spending 20 million. I think.
No. Bro, it was 5 million. It was 6 million.
I know it's double figures.
Listen, Scott. Yeah, it's 6 million euros with add-ons that take it to 10.5. If the add-ons get activated, he's a fucking baller for us. You know what I mean? Like, he's played for us. Like, this is what I mean. Like, we shouldn't hear about these moves because when we bought Jeffrey Brumer, when we bought Islam Farouz, none of us knew these fees.
We also live in a different time, though, aren't we? That's the problem.
Yeah, like, and this is what I mean. Like, and then people have these meltdowns. Oh, they're not. This money should be used on a striker. Right. Who's the striker you want? Tell me who's the striker.
But didn't we also? I think people are forgetting. Wasn't there like reports that they have like essentially Chelsea hierarchy that they have two different budgets, right?
That sense that we have to hear all the time.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is because these players are a certain age, they don't affect PSR and FFP. Because they're under a certain age, so they have a different.
Andrew, again, I hear that, but it goes back to the point I made earlier. Like, that's fair, but I had this conversation on Lewis's stream the other day, where it's like that's 90% of our transfers are just these young guys. So it can't be a different budget because that's 90% of our transfers.
No, but I want.
No.
That's not true.
No.
Most of our transfers.
No. My thing is this: it's true that there are two different budgets because the thing is the consortium has more money that they would love to spend, bro. They would love to spend as much as they could. Obviously, they're not able to. However, the one area where they're able to pretty much spend as much as they want and it won't affect the books is with young players. My issue is I know for a fact that it's the sporting directors that we have that are spending all their goddamn time on these young players. That's my issue. It's not the issue like about the money wise. I don't care, bro. I know we have money. That's the one thing I'm not worried about with this club is that we don't have enough money. We have enough money. My issue is that the sporting directors should not be the ones that are spending the majority of their time hunting down this young talent. Please,
think
bro, build a squad. That's what I'm pissed about.
I think we're all in agreement that, say for instance, this January transfer window. Let's just hypotheticals here, right? If the transfers of say a Gurhi, Duran, and
Douglas Luiz in
midfield.
Yep.
No one would care about these kids that are being signed. That's the difference, isn't it? It's like
Now, can I ask you a question?
You're not doing this. Hang on, you're not doing because you haven't actually done any proper transfers that we are crying out for. These ones become more highlighted and be used against them. Rightfully going, well, why are you doing that when you should be doing this instead? So it's like,
I get that. I totally agree with you. Like, if they went and got me Duran, I'd be over the moon, right? But at the same time, is Duran worth 90 million euros right now? Like, would any one of us be saying, you know what, go spend that 90 million? And if we go, Aston Villa's up in the price because Prem tax, right?
Yeah.
I get you, but there's an 80 million for a Gyökeres release clause right now. Why don't
no. But then, okay, I got a question for you. 80 million Gyökeres, right? Gyökeres is going to come and ask what wages, right? Are you comfortable giving him?
No, we can afford it. He's on 40.
No. But he's not going to move on 40. This is a player that's 27 that hasn't made money.
I can quadruple it, and he'll be 160.
He's gonna want. He's gonna want best player in the team money.
No, I get it, but we could do this. We could do 180, and if you get champions,
Scott, you say pay it, yeah. What if we miss top 4? Like, this is what fans don't realize.
We're going to miss top 4 regardless. At this rate, we're going to miss top 4 anyway.
So this is what you do.
We could miss top 4 anyway.
No, but this is what you do. You tell them, hey, if you join us now, you're getting 160, and if you get Champions League, you're getting up to 230. With that bonus.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of how we have it set up, anyways?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you see, this is like, it's easy for us to sit here and say this. Why would he, right now, right, leave and join Chelsea when all he has to do is wait 6 months at Lisbon, most probably pick up another winner's medal, back-to-back Portuguese titles, and then have a pick of his clubs for 63 million.
And to add to that point,
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Scott.
Can't the same argument be made for Amorim?
For who? Amorim was forced. They literally said to him, "Is now or never." Like, Amorim didn't want to leave. Like, as somebody that keeps up with Portuguese media through like family, they literally said he was doing everything to stay. They literally said either now or never. Or never.
The same ultimatum. If he doesn't want to join, he doesn't want to join.
One thing I want to, like, in a hypothetical world, CP, what you were saying about offering that to Gyökeres would work. But if you believe what you want to believe on the whole Osimhen saga, but from what I was able to put together, we offered Osimhen a loan option, right? Or an option where we'll pay you this much in wages, and when we get Champions League, we'll give you the wages that you want. And either him or his agent turned that down. So what's to say Gyökeres wouldn't turn that down as well?
Yes, but the thing is, at least attempted.
We haven't even tried.
At least we haven't even tried.
Yeah.
How do you get rejected while doing that?
No, because every report says we haven't even tried to talk to him in person or his agent.
I think what we need to.
There's a difference, by the way. There's a difference in giving that kind of wage to someone who, like, doesn't deserve it or is in a position where they don't really need to be the highest earner. We're talking about arguably, like, one of the two most important positions in the entire pitch. The number 9. There's a reason why most number 9s cost the most money and are on the most highest wages, because they are the ones that deliver in the highest moments. So if he wants 250, pay him the fucking money, because it's that or potentially not get Champions League.
And
Hold on. I don't agree with that logic, because what is he outside? Like, let's be honest here. We're talking about a player that's had 2 seasons
After Alexis,
in the Portuguese league, right? In the Portuguese league. Like, are you not so? Once you spend this money on Gyökeres, that's your striker for the next 3 years. That and Jackson.
So for me, I'm not necessarily on the Gyökeres chain on a personal, but I think if you're talking about striker in general, right? I think right now, from a Chelsea's perspective, you want to get probably the best of the best, right? Now we can say Osimhen, some may say everything. I think the reality is, the market sadly is a overbloated market. So not overbloated, but I would say it's a market where sadly you're gonna have to start paying premiums because the position is not bringing out enough talent, right? And I just think the reality is you're just gonna have to pay those transfer fees now.
By the way, the reality.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to talk about the wages, but I was just going to add the wages as well. I think sadly, this is because I feel like this is an issue we had when obviously with Elise and Osimhen. There's going to be some players where we can't fit them into this wage structure. Like the wage structure might have to actually be broken again for one or two players, whether we like to admit or not. One or two players just have to have that wage structure broken for.
So like what, 300k?
Boys, we're gonna know.
For me, if this guy, if the guy we're buying is arguably top 3 in that position, or like one of the best in that position, I think I'm willing to do that. I am willing to do that.
So you're willing to come on 250 plus or something straight away.
Yeah.
Without earning it.
Lewis always says when we make top 4, he's gonna find out how serious this ownership is.
Yeah,
and for me,
I'm on that same boat.
That is going to be the time where we can actually sit here and say these men aren't serious or they are serious. Because so far,
are they going to spend the big money? Are they going to pay?
They went and got me Enzo Fernandez, who was a young prospect. They went and got me Moises Caicedo, who was a young prospect who's ready to contribute now. And they spent over the odds. They went and got me a Lavia in the same window. Yeah, it didn't work out, but they did. Do you know what I mean? And since then, they got me a Neto who I liked. I can't sit here and be a hypocrite, and say they're not spending money.
No, but they're not because we got Enzo on these guys because why? Because their contracts, the wages they're gonna ask for are low. I know these people will pay the money up front, but they're not willing to pay the wage up front. And that's the issue. And there were reports even last season and this summer saying if it's for an elite player, they're willing to take out their wage structure, right? And so it's like if you're getting a top 3 or 5 player in that position and a Gyökeres or Osimhen, whatever you want to say, whoever it is, then you should break it. Why can't we do at least 250? And if we get a Champions League or if we win trophies, it goes up to 300. Why aren't we doing that?
In an ideal world, that's what I would want. But I think that's what players are kind of
because we can't. Also, sorry, last before Scott, and we can't keep on doing this. We have to wait until we get top 4. How much longer are we going to keep waiting for this top 4 to see if they're serious?
Bro, I expect top 4 this year, by the way. I don't know
about
you guys.
I agree, but I think this is where this window for me is where it shows how
exactly. This is why this window is so important.
We have a chance. We're on the cusp of getting top 4. I'll be so honest. We're on the cusp of being able to challenge for a title with the right pieces. But instead of capitalizing on that, instead of going and getting signings. Like, by the way, the Duran thing, that's cool not paying that 90 mil, whatever it is now. You would have bought him in the summer instead of spending 19 mil on Kellyman, who's played all of 3 games and got injured. You didn't. You could have swapped Matson for Duran and be done with it. You didn't even need to sell them Gallagher. But you fucked around and found out, and now he's going to Al Nassr for 90 mil. That's what it is.
Felix instead of Amarodion.
We could have got someone who's top 3 in his position for a good price on cheap wages.
Who's top 3 in this position?
And I know Alexis is going to like this one. You're going to like this one. Instead of going and getting Kvicha, we let him go to PSG for nothing. Didn't even try.
Top 3 in his position. I thought you were going to say Duran's top 3 in his position.
Not Duran. I'm talking this window. We let someone top 3 in his position.
Bro, I didn't understand it.
Wages, what did they like? Drew Boy's wages, he's on 200k.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say to you as well. Yeah,
could have done that. Instead, we're looking at Garnacho because reasons.
And even Tell, I like Tell, but I don't like Tell more than I like Kvicha. For the price you're paying.
Yes.
I just don't understand what we're doing.
We might miss out on Tell as well.
60 mil. Yeah. 60 mil for me is not potential money. It's ready to go. 60 mil. Do you know what I mean? 60 mil. I mean, in this market, because of it's gone up, I'll cap it at 40. Do you know what I mean? I'll cap it at 40 now because of the weight, because of the transfer fees. It used to be 20, maybe even 15. But 60 mil.
Wait, do you not think we'll get Tell?
No.
We're not getting Tell. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. He's going.
We're not getting Tell. There's reports saying we're not getting. He doesn't.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest.
I'm
at a stage. I think we're getting Garnacho or no one this window.
I think we are. I think we're getting.
I'm telling you right now. Genuinely, I predicted it. Yeah, at the beginning of the window, we're getting Garnacho, and I
we are.
By it.
I think
no, you guessed it. You didn't predict it. You said maybe we'll get
Garnacho.
That's a prediction. That is a prediction. That is a prediction, Safa. That's a prediction. That's a prediction. What do you call that? That's called a prediction. That's a prediction. Why are you hating, Safa? Why are you hating?
Because I'm in the group
Going
chat.
back to the topic we discussed quickly about the sells, with like people leaving, I find it just more indictments on these sporting directors and just the club and what we're doing at the moment. We spent the entire window trying to sell Casadei for 13 million, haggling over 2 mil. We spent the we're now loaning Washington 2 years after buying him for what was it, 13 to 18 million.
Remember, we tried to Scott. Do you remember?
We bought him from.
Do you guys remember about what's his name? I forget his name. David Washington. We tried to sell him to Strasbourg for 18 million. If you guys remember,
18
but
or
then
80?
it was 18 million. Yeah, but then remember, because it was intra clubs, we had to like stop doing it because we were about to get into trouble. Like that's how crazy literally it is, man. Honestly.
Yeah, but and it's stuff like that that pisses me off. And it's like I could understand and like not care about these transfers, but we do them so often, and they are more often than not the ones we've done are L's in some way, shape, or form, or like they're break evens at best. It's like what's the point? What's the fucking point?
But the thing is, there is a point. And I'll explain to you why there's a point. Because on the book value, they look like profit. And our revenue is not... Like, did you not see that Deloitte thing that came out with our match day revenue being significantly lower than everyone? We need a new stadium. Or we need to start charging bigger ticket prices.
But the thing is, I don't know if you know this, Alexis, yeah? But, you know, like our premium... Our premium tickets, by the way, don't sell out. Like that's something I don't think a lot of people know about. Our regular ones around the stadium do, but like the ones that are like the west side. I forget they're called West something, which are like the upper seats. Yeah, they're like 90 quid, 100 quid. Those don't sell. The hospitality ones don't sell as much as well. Like so, we've got a problem there as well, right? In the sense that we can't sell these premium tickets.
The team's not winning. I promise you, I tried to get tickets, when the team was doing really well. When we was like second.
Bro, it was a struggle, man. Struggle.
It was a struggle, and then literally that Bournemouth game, tickets were available. It was £109 though in the West Stand. Like, and I was like, £109 is ridiculously overpriced. Exactly. But I'm guessing they kind of have to do it to like compete.
It used to be 90 quid last season. Yeah.
It is expensive.
I could go on for hours about the stadium issue.
Bro, I got Inter Milan versus AC Milan tickets for this weekend, yeah? They cost me €70. €70 for a derby in good seats.
Marshall, imagine that. That shit.
Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice.
Chump change, bro. That's chump change, bro.
US prices, bro, that's ridiculous.
I think that's literally, by the way, I think that's literally what I paid for like a drink, fries, and chicken tenders at MSG, bro. I'm not even lying. Like, I think that's the full price. Like, I think I've literally been at MSG, gotten like fries, chicken, and a drink, and then like I 60, 70. Like, that makes
it's a lot of money.
That's how much I played at Crypto Arena for Laker games too. I got you, man.
Oh my days. Yeah. I mean, since we brought up the topic of Tell, I might as well bring up some of the tweets that we have in regards to this whole saga, right? A little bit of an update on what's going on. So just to get into it really quickly, I'm going to start off with the Nkunku part of it. So United is an option for Nkunku, but he's not open to a straight loan. He could be interested if it has an obligation. Let's see what happens. Bayern's still an option, but there's no green light from Tell. That was earlier this week. Also right here, despite interest from Man United and Bayern, Chelsea do not see Christopher Nkunku leaving before next Monday's deadline. And then we have here from Simon Johnson as well. Chelsea have not made a decision whether Matheus Tell is someone they want to pursue. He is one of many on the list. And if you guys saw earlier what I had on the screen, we had Gittins, Tell, Garnacho, and there was another one on there. I can't remember.
Nico Williams. None of which, by the way,
Nico Williams, which wasn't going to happen. Yeah, exactly.
None of those four are linked in any way, shape, or form.
So Fabrizio came out and announced the exclusive that Matheus Tel has decided to leave Bayern Munich. Told Chelsea not currently put off by reports, Tel supposedly favoring alternative moves or being concerned about playing time that hadn't been directly communicated to CFC yesterday. Tel does not see Chelsea as a good destination for his development at this stage, which I do not blame him. Understand that Tottenham have negotiations with FC Bayern over the move of Matheus Tel. Still, anything possible, loan move or permanent deal talks are ongoing with clubs such as Chelsea, Aston Villa, but Tottenham are currently in very intensive talks with Bayern. Tottenham approach for a loan as per colleague Michael Bridge. Breaking, Tottenham Hotspur had a €60 million offer accepted by Bayern on Thursday for their French forward. Matheus Tel, sources have been told, that's Julian Laurens. Chelsea will have to be persuasive to land Matheus Tel as he has other big English clubs pressing for him as well as options like Frankfurt and Marseille. Chelsea are still there for Matheus Tel, but he also has 7 loan proposals and others who want him on a permanent, according to Fabrizio. Chelsea are set to resume talks with Tel to try to convince him. Tel also made it clear he doesn't want to go to Chelsea because the competition there is just as big as Munich. Chelsea have made checks on Matheus Tel, just as they have registered an interest in United, Alejandro Garnacho, and Dortmund's Jamie Gittins. It is unclear whether Chelsea will formalize their interest in Tel with a bid. Matheus Tel is believed to be skeptical about the prospect of moving to Chelsea, where competition for places remains fierce. Matheus Tel wants guarantees, as he will not accept being a bench player, as he wants to play regularly. Spurs want to go big for him. United would only be for a loan, and Chelsea are there to buy him permanently. Let's see if Chelsea can convince him. Also, Matt Law here saying Chelsea are not currently put off by the reports of Matheus Tel supposedly favoring alternative moves on being concerned about playing time. That hadn't been directly communicated. Okay, I already read this. Chelsea are continuing their efforts to sign Matheus Tel. Sources say Tel is waiting to see if Man United or Arsenal formalize their interests before making a final decision. Spurs and Chelsea have the firmest interests from clubs in the Premier League. Tottenham have started negotiations with Bayern for Matheus Tel and are in very intensive conversation. Talks also ongoing with Chelsea and Villa. And then lastly, Tottenham have agreed a fee of £50.2 million with Bayern for Matheus Tel. The player is still considering the move, according to L'Equipe.
There's one more that just came out.
There's still one more.
The Alexis special. What is it?
Yes, basically he's asked to talk to his family now. He wants a few hours to decide. Apparently Chelsea have a mission on their hands, according to Fabrizio.
My thing with this is I'm not in for a deal that I have to guarantee a 19-year-old playing.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. 19, you've proven nothing in the game, and you want guarantees, bro.
I'm not doing this. He doesn't. Listen,
there's two ways that I see this. There's two things that I see on this, real quick before you go, Scott. No, not even the positives. Just two points of view that I see this from. Chris, you. The one aspect of it is like we just literally sat here and spoke about how our loanees and how Alexis just went through the list, Santos, Angelo, all these players that we bought in, didn't really have a crack at Chelsea, and now they're just being flipped for minimal profit to a bit of profit, some good deals, some deals, right? And you keep seeing that. Like you look at Fofana, what's happening with Dacho Fofana. You look what's happening with David Washington. Matheus Tel or his agent sees that. It's like, how are you going to expect differently? That, they're just going to do this to you. They're going to loan you here. You're not going to they're going to cancel your loan here.
No.
I think that's part of it, though, sir. But hold on. Before you go, sir, so you hear my other point, because you might agree with me on this. I think the other part of it, too, is that he wants an easy route to a first team. Who is he competing here at Chelsea? It's Jadon Sancho, Neto. It's going to be... I know he's going to have to compete, which to me is a little bit like, all right, really, you don't think you don't believe in yourself enough to compete and get ahead of Madueke and stuff.
It's nothing to do with that.
Yes.
He's at a club. He doesn't want to leave. Let's be real. All this nonsense, he now wants to leave. The only reason he wants to leave is for first team football. That's the point. He's not going to go somewhere where he is not guaranteed first team football, because otherwise you just fucking stay at Bayern, who's a bigger club. is more likely to win things, and you're more likely to do well than you are here at Chelsea. Let's be completely honest.
Exactly.
Scott, why is he not going?
There's no reason.
You guys gotta remember, they iced him out.
That is what I was gonna say, Alexis, bro.
Unless he's joining,
yeah, because Marseille,
stop shouting. Back away from the mic.
I'm not. No, this is not even working right now. I'm using my other mic. I'm not way near it.
It's just there for show.
No, it is just not working right now for some reason. I have to use my other mic.
You're very loud.
You're pretty loud. There's no reason.
Okay, how do I sound now?
Yeah,
it's the game. The game was
power here in
better.
terms of like game time. He has all the power because he's in like he's in a position that like he doesn't want to be in terms of game time, but isn't a club he wants to be at. So the only step up for him is game time. That's why he has to we have to guarantee it to him. We shouldn't because he's 19. Also, the other side of it is him and his agent aren't stupid. They probably look at what's happening to others like Felix and go, why am I going to go there where I may not get played because the manager doesn't want to play me? Like, because Sancho's the starter and I just have to be backup. I may get 10 minutes a game.
Like, he started ahead of Jackson within weeks.
Can we ask the real question? Can we ask the real question here? Yeah?
How do we know he starts ahead of Jackson?
No. We need to ask
he's a better finisher than Jackson.
That's not the issue, because all we heard about Nkunku, and all we heard about Nkunku was that he's a better finisher than Jackson and he doesn't start anyway.
I think the real question is, doesn't
matter.
Nkunku doesn't run. He literally doesn't run.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's nothing to do with finishing. If Tell doesn't do that either, as well as Jackson, he won't start. It doesn't matter.
Does Maresca want Tell, guys?
It doesn't even play
question.
Though, really.
Does Maresca want Tell, guys? Be honest. Let's ask that
no
question.
Idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. Like, and like from what we know, the history of like the way our directors work, it's usually a signing that they usually like, you know, they do their scouting for, and then they bring in. For all we know,
this would be a director's signing. This would be Agbali.
Yeah. Like for all
no.
bro,
Apparently, it's a Lawrence Stewart signing. Apparently, he's crazy.
So like the point. So the point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the point I'm trying to make here is, for all we know, we could buy Tar, and then he just holds bench again because Maresca's like, he doesn't suit me. He doesn't work with me. Right, and then we're just back into another situation with a Felix, with an Nkunku, where we've got this good quality player allegedly, and we just can't use them.
But I think he though, unlike them two, can actually play a 9 potentially or out wide. But those two can really only play in the middle, really, or a false 9 maybe sometimes. Tell can play on the left. We've seen it before.
Do you know what really annoys me though about this whole situation? If we had another manager, this squad would be considered as deep. But the reality is, because Maresca's so rigid with his forwards, whereas he's so fluid with his defenders, it's considered like a bad squad. When if you sack him and bring another manager, people would be going crazy at the options of Palmer, Felix, and Nkunku.
Exactly.
But it's just like, I don't know why he's so stubborn in the forward area, but in the defense he's so fluid. Like Gusto does every role apart from right back.
Wait, but do you actually? But hold on, Alexis. But I mean, for the longest time, up until Fofana got injured, he just stuck with Fofana and Kobel for the longest time.
Yeah,
he had
but
that
then
center
at the
back
same
pairing on
time,
lock.
But then Gusto would go left back, and James would go left back, and then he would put Vega left back, and then Cucurella would come into the midfield.
Right,
he literally is so fluid there. But with our forwards, you know the front four. Maybe you're gonna guess
but Gusto was left back when Cucurella has a suspension. Cucurella was playing week in, week out before then. Gusto played left back against Liverpool because he had a suspension from too many yellow cards.
But then what's it called? Then Gusto goes into the midfield. He's fluid with his defenders. Like, he doesn't mind whether Kobel plays in the middle or he plays on the left, or when Badiashile played on his right, or whether he literally will experiment there. And we've
but that's a system. No, because the fullback always goes into the midfield. That's what we said. Either he goes into DM, that we thought initially was going to happen, but no, we found out he comes in as an attacking eight. That's what Cucurella and Sanchez are partnering up. So that's where the combination play happens, and he does the same with Gusto on the other side. It's not he's experimenting. He's doing the same system. It's just how we see the players switching between being a fullback and being an attacking eight. That's the only thing. And Gusto's just not as good as Cucurella in the attacking eight on the right side. Or the left.
I tell you what.
I think it's very rigid.
Someone said, "Does he want Tell?" hopefully his senses dictate that he'd want Tell over Garnacho. Because Garnacho don't offer shit.
And also, we keep on saying this attack is deep. How deep is it? Let's be honest. And some players don't even work for the manager system. We've seen that so many times. I've had freaking Deco and everyone.
This argument.
No. We've had Deco and other players at times, and they were world beaters, but not good for our team or for that manager. That happens in every place ever in the history of mankind.
Oh, you're not going to tell me about a 65-year-old Deco,
Veron joined Manchester United and he was a bum after doing what he was doing. Yes, I can tell you countless of teams and countless of places. Yes, I can do that. I can do that.
Sorry, by the way, I don't know your name, right? Can you let me know your name?
Yeah,
we've never met.
Just call me CP. CP, yeah, nice to meet you.
CP.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is, right? We've got Noni, Neto, Sancho, Felix, Nkunku, and Palmer, and we have Jackson. I'm sorry. If you look at every squad in the Premier League, those 8 are going to rank in the top 3 guaranteed as a combination of options. If he can't make that work to get top 4...
Wait, what?
Who has better as a combination of 8?
Yeah.
Who's the best
Liverpool,
8th player?
Liverpool right now, their entire attack. Yes, all 8, yes.
Who's their 8th striker? Who's their 8th midfielder or winger?
You mentioned all the attacking options so we'll do that. So they have Gakpo, they have Mohamed Salah, they have Darwin Núñez, who output wise is doing way better than Jadon Sancho or Madueke in their wildest dreams. So we can say that because output does matter to a certain extent. We can't keep
3 players so far.
Okay, 3. We also have Diaz. Jota, I think that's 5. That's 5 elite. We have Harvey Elliott. I do
3, yeah. So I'll give you Liverpool.
No, not 3. No. We don't have 3. I just need you 5. We have 5.
No,
players
my friend,
in the team
you're not understanding my point. They are a team that's better than us. You're telling me that our 8, right, are not in a top 4 in the top 4 teams in the Premier League. So the options that clubs have. So if Liverpool, I'll give you. Man City, I'll give you if you want Man City as well. What, you think Arsenal's forwards are better than our forwards?
No, but I think Villa's are.
Well, we are just going off this run of form, though.
Villa's. I think Villa's
you're going off 7 games. Bro, we've scored the
same. No, last season too. No, we can't because even Duran was being a super sub last season was having impact.
But the thing is, though, we're not.
And Watkins has 33 GNA.
You know what? I'll tell you now.
We're not creating a shitload of chances. We're creating
and not only that, we scored the 3rd highest goals in the league this year. You know, I hate fans like CP at times, you know. I really do. Because what he's doing now is,
Hold that, CP.
No, and I'll explain to you. Because what CP is doing now is, it's this squad is bad because we haven't been good in the last 7 games. But the 16 prior to that will get completely ignored. The goal scoring return, that 3rd best in league, will get completely ignored. This is not a bad squad, man. We are exaggerating.
It's goldfish memories, bro. It's goldfish memories. Start of the season, people were telling me, but don't worry, bro. It's fine. We can have Sanchez as our keeper. I'm like, why did everybody just get amnesia about what happened last season? Like, why does everybody pretend last season didn't happen? And then here we go. The exact same things pop up. And I'm telling you, this team is. The thing is, if you look at our stats, we are producing similar stats in the games that we've lost. It's just the fact that we haven't been clinical. Like,
exactly, that's the point.
It's literally been busting our balls, and also the fact that, let's be honest, our defense did not look this bad when we had Kobel Fofana. Even when we were missing Reece James and Latvia, it did not look this bad with Fofana.
We can link the. Let's face it, and I think how we're feeling about the transfer window is linked to our current form.
Agreed.
I truly believe that.
100%.
I disagree.
No, it totally has, because we won't mention half the stuff we were when we were on that.
No, we were.
No, because
I disagree.
Here's the thing, though, Scott. Here's the thing. And maybe you guys agree with me. I've said this. I've iterated this multiple times that in this window, two things I've wanted: recall Chalobah, which they've done. The other thing they can do, and I'm content with this window, is just recall me a midfielder. Because I don't want Caicedo to fall. The rest, yes, I am content with that because I think, and I remember I had this conversation with Alexis, right, where we were talking about how do we feel about Jackson, and how do we feel about maybe going back for Osimhen in January? And we both said, let's assess it once we get to January and see where our options at. And right now with Jackson, okay, 9 goals at this point in the season. He's had a bad patch. The last 7 games have been a really bad patch for him, and a few, blanks here and there in the first 16. But overall this season, he's been majorly good. Now, I would love to have a backup option, but I think I can wait until there's better options in the summer.
No, Marshall. So
can wait. This is where I disagree, by the way.
Yeah, so
well, let Scott disagree real quick, because I interrupted Scott real quick. Let's Scott.
This is where I disagree. Like, outside, the only position that we potentially now need in this window that we didn't is winger, because one of our players decided to be a drug mule. Outside of that, goalkeeper we've been speaking about basically ever since these sporting directors have come in. Like, goalkeeper we've spoke about every single window without fail, and they refused to address it properly. Centre back, we're still talking about it. We recalled Chalobah because we refused to go and buy anyone. That's not good enough. We still need a centre back.
Yes.
Still need a centre back.
But the thing is, like, we also have to be, because this is going back to what Alexis was saying, right? And I think also what Surfer was saying. We also have to be realistic, because I feel like a lot of people went into this January transfer window thinking we were going to do business like we did when we got Enzo and we got Batty and shit. Like, it's like, we're not going to negotiate like that. We're not going to do that kind of business. We're not going to get a goalkeeper mid-season when all these teams. But the thing is, hold on, real quick, before you. Okay, go ahead.
We also need a striker, whether that's a starter or a backup. We have needed a striker for at least a year. We're having the same conversation we had last January.
Yes.
That's unacceptable. That's 3 separate windows. We haven't addressed the position properly. Because whether Jackson is the starter or he's the backup, we need someone behind him. Having Hugh as the backup's not good enough at all. Especially he doesn't play anyway. That's the only position that you can then argue. The only position you could then argue is midfield, and I think that we need to rule someone. That's 3 positions we needed to address before this window started at the start of this season, because we didn't address them in the summer properly. On the other point, by the way, Marshall, there's such a thing as adapting. We might not have needed to do much business prior to this window starting because of certain situations. You have to adapt. I don't think City planned to spend 150 mil nearly within 2 weeks of the window opening. I don't think they also expected to be 6th at that point. But shit happens. You have to adapt. And these guys don't adapt.
My thing is, so before I let you go, Alexis, my thing is, if you look at the start of the window, I think, everyone agreed, bringing back Chalobah and like maybe a midfield backup of Leslie. Maybe not necessarily Santos, because he clearly is developing right now. I don't want to block his development, but like those
Leslie's
two,
the one I would go for.
You guys all heard me. I was always saying, if one of those two, that's it. But like realistically, right, if you look at the way we play, right, and how we've been playing, like it's clear, like we need another option in that striker position right now, right?
Agreed.
I felt like that if there was one transfer that needed to happen, the goalkeeping one, we can adapt, in my personal opinion. Centre back, we've spoken about midfield, right? That was the one I was looking at in January to be like, if we need to get something done here to really cement top 4, that's the position we need to be targeting, right? And for me, no, not centre back, striker. I'm talking about striker.
Oh, okay.
Not centre back, because again, I was content with Chalobah coming back and Leslie being there for me as my backup, right? So it really should have been the striker situation we've been looking at. And the problem for me, we've been looking at a position that I don't necessarily think we need to be covering right now, right? Tao, he's a young lad, everything like that, all due respect, but I need someone there with a bit more XP. You know what I mean? He's leveled up a bit more. He knows what he needs to do, right? And it's gonna help out our wingers a lot more in solving our situation, bro. That's been my issue really in this transfer window, bro. More than anything else.
So can I speak on this? So we were doing this whole attack hype. So we're currently the 4th best attack, and we're 1 goal from Arsenal away from them being tied with us. Okay, and also Newcastle and Bournemouth are at 41 while we're at 45. So it's not like we have this blistering attack. Man City have scored more than us. No. Wait. I let you complete your thing. I let everyone talk. So let me do my thing, please.
Marshall, you found our version of Thai, mate.
Dude,
deluded.
No, he's both ways. Some days he stops the delusion. Sometimes,
that's why
we have CP dynamism.
They just added Marmouche. They added Marmouche, so Man City's attack has gotten better. We can't even deny that. We're now the 4th.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yes, it is. He has more output than Jack. No, he has more output than Jack Grealish. I can give you that for a fucking sure thing, buddy.
No, he has
0 goals.
No, hang on. He has more output than in the Bundesliga.
No, you know why I can give you that? Because Jack Grealish has 0 goals in 2024. So I can tell you he's going to score more than 0.
Bush hasn't played a single solitary second in the Premier League.
No, I get it, but he's going to score more than 0. I can assure you that in 2025 he will score more than 0.
My talent ID.
So when he scores more than 0, I'll meet you there. Okay. So they already upgraded their attack because Grealish used to be on the left and he's dog shit. And also Doku barely scores anyways. And like I said, we're the 4th best attack, and we're an Arsenal 1 goal away from us being tied with 4th best to maybe 5th best. So we're going down the whole scoring the most goals in the league now. We used to be first or second. Now we're fourth. Yes, and we haven't bolstered our attack, while some of our opponents have bolstered their attack. That's the issue. Or they're still the same.
Paper, isn't it?
Man City have gone up. Liverpool have stayed the same, and also Arsenal have stayed the same.
Newcastle have stayed the same. Bournemouth
have
stayed the same.
No. So with Newcastle,
the only
they
ones
have
that
stayed the
really
same.
bolstered their attack was Man City. That's it.
Yes, and Newcastle have stayed the same, but Alexander. No, exactly, they've stayed the same, and they're going to be above us.
But again, this is what. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. I could just reverse that before this run. And Newcastle and Bournemouth.
No, but you know what? But Surfer, you can because Scott knows about this. I said this since 3rd week of September that we need a goal-scoring left winger. Me and Scott have been saying this since September.
You have your goal-scoring left winger. He's refusing to use it.
No, he doesn't.
Felix is not a goal-scoring left winger. He's never been a goal-scoring left winger.
I'm not saying Felix. The thing is, right, this is what annoys me with Maresca. Listen to me, yeah? What annoys me is he wants them to be in his system, exactly used the way that he wants it, right? But sometimes when you have different tools, you need to utilize these. Like,
but who's the goal-scoring left winger? Give me the name of the goal-scoring you said we do. So
put in Kunku.
So on the not a left winger. No, he's never been a left winger in his life.
Let me finish, yeah? Put him on the left wing, get him to tuck in, let Cucurella hold the width, yeah? And let him come in and around, crash in the box, with Jackson almost playing as the link-up forward, with Palmer in the 10. All of a sudden, you've got a solution. I don't understand why it's two wingers have to be touching the...
So you mean the thing we did against Man City, where he looked like dog shit? And
he didn't look like dog shit.
Yes, he did. He was fine. He cannot take on his man ever. And we keep on doing this.
He was fine.
He also played at times in the season as the 10 because we keep on giving him a billion excuses in Nkunku about when is he going to play in the 10. He drops into the 10 position. He doesn't do anything in the 10 position. He doesn't even do late runs into the box.
You carry on. You don't like Sancho taking 1,000 touches. You don't like a solution that could be presented with Felix or Nkunku in that position, tucking in. What do you like? Us just going and giving you dopamine, bruv. Do you not get it in your life?
No, because we no, it's not dopamine around. I know which players work for what. Okay, and Kunka's always worked in almost a 2-striker formation in which he has at least a good. That's not going to work with Jackson or Maresca's system. And you keep on saying how rigid Maresca is. That's how rigid almost every manager is besides Carlo Ancelotti.
And put Palmer on the right. We know he works on the right wing.
Yes, I need that.
We say this, but how is Palmer going to give me width with his like lackluster pace?
He won't give you width.
He's not going to give me width, and then we're going to say we want to. No, then we're going to say
but then you won't get a goal scorer.
No, wait, hold up. Then we're going to say a right back. We have a Reece James, who is the most injury-prone player in mankind, along with Fofana. And we have a Malagusto who can't attack or defend this season because he decided to switch the fuck off. So where the fuck are we getting our width on the right side?
Hey, boys, I'm telling you now, when we make top 4, when we ban him for 3 months, ban him for all transfer window for 3 months. I don't want to hear him praise anything related to Chelsea when we make top 4.
No, I said we would get top 4 this season just because. No, I can say what I want because I am on the reality of this club, dude. I said we would get top 4. I did this whole dopamine hype shit.
Why are you moaning that we're not signing anyone?
Because we need a back. No, just as Ahmed said, it's because this club and the sporting directors aren't even doing enough to get me a good backup striker. When Nkunku we know does not play as a striker, and Maresca sees him as a 10, and same with Felix. We haven't even got a competent backup striker. For fuck's sake.
Let me bring this back real quick, because I think there's something that Surfer said that I wanted to allude to, that goes to this argument, right, or this debate, I should say. Right now, I feel like a lot of what's going on is based on current form, because if we remember, no one was saying anything about Alexander Isak in the first 7 games of the season. He didn't score his first goal.
Yeah,
he didn't score his first goal in the season until he played us. Wow. But now that he's the next hot commodity, people are talking about him. But before, Jackson was the hot commodity. So I think, listen, I don't disagree with what CP is saying. I do think we do need to get a backup striker. That was something that we should have done last summer. And unfortunately, and this is something I've reiterated. And maybe we can,
by the way. His first goal was Tottenham, by the way.
Oh, got you there.
Third game week. Third game of the season. Okay, yeah. So he had 1 goal up until he scored his 2nd goal up.
He had 1 goal and 1 assist, so then he was injured for 2 game weeks.
Yeah, he wasn't in hot, scintillating form, and we already knew going into the season he's an injury-prone player, right? But now that he's looking great, people want to say pay the 150 million, which is ridiculous. But going back to the point that I was trying to get,
I don't want to pay 150.
I know you're not. But going back to the point where I was getting at is that something that we all agree on this, and something that I've said and reiterated multiple times, is that our sporting directors are absolutely shit at negotiating. They take forever to negotiate, and they don't get the price that they were supposed to get. When it comes to selling, we're pretty good at it. But when it comes to buying, we're paying overs on Caicedo, we're paying overs on Enzo, we're paying overs on all types of players, right? And we were ready to pay overs on Osimhen probably, and we just couldn't get it through the line. We were dilly-dallying for forever. My point is that when it comes to this window, I didn't come into this window having high hopes or expectations that we were going to get a striker, that we were going to get a goalkeeper, that we were going to get an attacking left winger, that we were going to get a center mid. Like, look at how many I'm listing for just January.
They also told us that, by the way. They told us that in December. Yeah. There was an article released when things were good. They said they're happy with the construction of the squad and they want a quiet January.
Yes.
That was out there.
But the thing was, we just wanted one position.
But the thing is, Alexis, I get,
that's the adapting.
I think the problem is, Alexis, I get the point you're making, and at the time, I think, everyone here probably have been like in a similar format, but our striker, who I think I would argue is pretty much key to the way Maresca works in terms of system-wise, has been essentially killing us, bro, because the wingers we've got right now, I would argue to be creative wingers, right? And so if our striker isn't really scoring when they're creating for him, then we're kind of we have a big problem, bro. Respectfully, right? I'm pretty sure you would.
Boys, I totally agree with you. Like, I think what Scott said, he hit the nail on the head. You chased Samu and Duran, you didn't get him. You chased Osimhen, you didn't get him, right?
Exactly,
Rightly or wrongly. And then all of a sudden, right? You should know you need a backup come January when Nkunku's not working at the 9 position because your manager doesn't like him. Okay, so have that sorted. But what I don't want them to do is, and I'm telling you now, this fan base would have lost their shit if they got Colomwani on a loan with an obligation of 65 million. You lot would have lost your shit.
Oh, yeah. Just mentioning Evan Ferguson.
Oh, but Alexis, I've said this, like, when it comes to strike, like, they should have addressed this, and they still should be. Worst comes to worst, I don't like it. Like the Vlahovic thing. I think he's not a good footballer. I think he's pretty bad. The fact that he's been benched already by Colomwani is telling, by the way. But if we have to do a loan for him for 6 months, it is where it is. They won't even do that. They won't do that.
But you know
the
what?
Fact that they don't want to address this again for another window is embarrassing.
No, but
it's
you know
crazy.
What the thing is?
It's wild.
This is the thing, and this is an issue that has been there since the beginning, and now it's become like glaringly obvious. Because when you think about it in retrospect, it really is crazy that we went into Pacha's season, which pretty much the only defined striker, like out and out 9, being Jackson, who was being who at that point it was going to be his second professional season. Somebody who was just a left winger a couple of months ago, and we knew that he was going to leave for AFCON. and there was not a backup even then. So it's like
Broja
we didn't really talk about it in that moment. But like when I lay it out like that, you see the severe lack of planning from these sporting directors, especially in the 9th position. Because how is it possible that we signed somebody that has so many question marks, and even then you knew that they were not going to be there for at least a month, and we still didn't do anything. We still didn't sign anybody. I mean, it's just like it speaks to how deficient they are in actually understanding how to build a squad. They don't know how to build a squad.
But you know what? Even if we don't sign
it'd be a stopgap.
Even if we don't sign someone, if they drop that bum Sanchez and put Jurgensen in, we improve automatically. Like,
I guarantee you. No. I said this in this 1-7 run that we're in. I guarantee you we could convert some of those draws or even some of the losses into just straight W's if it's Jurgensen.
I just
you know why I blame them? Do you know why I blame the sporting directors? I think I've said this. I blame the sporting directors for the Sanchez thing as well to a point. It's not just them; it is Maresca. But like, if you went and signed someone, like you either sign someone he knows like Hermansen, or you go and sign a definitive number one, like a guy you know for a fact is a starter and is an upgrade. Like I think Jorgensen's obviously better, but I'm saying it's like I think it's closer than people want to admit. Otherwise, this argument with Maresca wouldn't be happening. Like, if they went and signed someone like Mamadashvili, or they went Costa or Kobel or someone like that, we're not having this argument. But instead, they went and got Jorgensen, and now we have this fucking way. He didn't want to address it properly.
Here's the thing that pisses me off. The guy on your Avi was the solution. He was someone that you could coach to give you passing from the back. You look at his numbers and his stats at Strasbourg, and he is #1 in progressive passes for a goalkeeper. You're telling me you couldn't do that with Jurgensen, or not Jurgensen. You tell me you couldn't do that with him, Petrovic, here at Chelsea. Which is why, which is why you guys might not like this theory. I genuinely think, just like Mauricio Pochettino, I genuinely think that part of the reason Mauricio lost his job is because he benched Sanchez, and Maresca is being forced to play Sanchez.
No, I'm
because of
that's
crazy.
Maybe, but like the thing I was gonna say,
I'll buy it now. That's the thing.
Because of the Petrovic thing, it just to me it doesn't make any sense.
I do think there are some politics behind it, and I'll defend Petrovic more than most people, but if he doesn't fit the system initially when Maresca gets in, I understand him being loaned out, and he didn't when Maresca joined.
Sanchez didn't.
Hang on. No, Sanchez fit. Hang on, Sanchez fit from a distribution point of view, and a guy who's able to play as a auxiliary centre back. Sanchez fit better than Petrovic.
Right.
Like, regardless of his other faults, he fit better than Petrovic. If he didn't want to coach him, if he didn't think he could coach him to that level, I understand. That's not the problem, because you saw he did that in Leicester. Danny Ward was #1 prior to him joining, and like it was either Schmeichel or Ward. He took one look at Ward and went, "Fuck you, you're not good enough." And they brought Hermansen and that Polish guy, I don't know his last name, in.
Yeah.
And that was the two guys he played. So I understand it. The issue then becomes, instead of addressing it properly, you bought him Jorgensen for like 20 mil, so there's no incentive to play because he's not been bought for a high fee. You can't definitively say he's a lot better than Sanchez. So you give him this point that he has to make the decision himself. He sees Sanchez and goes, yeah, he works for me. Now, everything that's happened since is fully on Maresca, because the fact you've seen him make at least 5 mistakes leading to goals and you haven't dropped him, that's a problem. But again, I put it back to the sporting directors of like, it's the same issue of like, instead of addressing the issue properly, you have an issue. Instead of actually fixing it, you put a Band-Aid over it. Yes. Like, shit's going to happen. Sometimes shit like this will happen because you didn't address it.
So I just want to say, just that Potts comment. If he didn't believe in the project so much, then why did he want a longer contract in that meeting? I just want to know. That's all on that one. This Potts revisionism is very scary in this fan base for a guy who didn't do anything for us. Second of all, when a club buys a goalkeeper, and one of the first thing that comes out that says he's here to compete with the goalkeeper that's already there, it's already a red flag for me on that goalkeeper. It's already a red flag. If you're coming in to compete with Kepa, then you should retire. And then, so I'm just not having it. I'm just not having it. I agree with Alexis. While it won't solve, I believe he has a direct effect on the defense in terms of trust.
Yeah.
Caliber's been back for 2 games, right? There's one thing in the Wolves game. What's the biggest thing in the Wolves game about Chalobah? There's a look he gives. There's a picture where he gives a look in his direction. on Saturday.
Something like that.
Great. Sanchez, great distribution. I think he threw the ball right out to a Man City player.
He did. Yep, he threw it right.
Chalobah was then behind him with his arms out like that. Going, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Calm down.
And by the way, for the people who are saying,
let me just hang on.
Go ahead.
We've already seen it several times in this season. Even when during our winning run, how many times have you seen, if you trust the goalkeeper, the defense will pass it back? We actually see our defense look back to our goalkeeper and don't want to pass it back to him because of what he can do. Yeah. This is also a Maresca when he's asking him to kick it long, because he just kicks it long aimlessly. He doesn't bother, trying to pick out anyone. We saw it against Fulham. And it's five mistakes leading to goals is huge, but he makes multiple mistakes that luckily don't all lead to goals, but he makes multiple.
I was surprised it was
mistakes.
only 5.
Yeah, that's what I did. I think.
By the way,
I think the Kovacic goal is on him. The second one at home is on him. I think that Curtis Jones away at Liverpool, the second goal, he should have done more on that one as well. So spreading himself, he made himself smaller.
I thought the Eze goal was on him as well.
He makes multiple. And also he gets credit for a save against Nottingham Forest that he gave the ball away for. He made that save against Nottingham Forest.
By the way, with the errors leading to goal, when he gets 6, because he will, when he gets 6, he will have been only the second keeper in the last 8 years to have 6. To have more than 5 errors leading to goal.
Imagine this though, right? Imagine this though. Last 2 games, he's made 2 mistakes. First one, not.
AP, do you like Sanchez?
Not game defining.
No,
he hates
Sorry,
I got your CP. He hates Sanchez. This one.
Please, we agree on something. I just wanted to confirm.
Don't worry. But imagine, right, coming out of the last 2 games where your goalkeepers made monumental mistakes, and we're barely linked to any goalkeepers. Do you know what I mean? Apart from this Kobel thing that's popped up again, which I don't think we are. But we're not linked to any goalkeepers.
Yeah, that happened.
I think this goes back to what Marshall and RSM spoke about, and I fully believe there is something. There are politics there why he starts. There are 100% politics. There has to be politics. There has to be politics.
Think about it. Pochettino.
There's one thing. Hang on. There's one thing, like you said, picking him all the time. That's one thing. The level of defense that happens for Sanchez over everyone else. This is a manager, by the way, who, while at Leicester, told his goalkeeper that just got bought, his new goalkeeper, if you kick it long again, I'll sub you off at halftime.
Yep.
How do you go from that to this? That's not normal. It's the same way I say there's something not right with this club in terms of its standards when I'm hearing a third manager in a row who's come from a different background to the other 2, who's come from a Pep way of playing, who's come from that mindset to now saying the same things. That's not normal. That's a pattern. That's
what I'm saying.
Worrying to me.
Scott.
That's not
Imagine
normal.
going to Leicester, Scott. Imagine going to Leicester and paying 30 million for not the goalkeeper.
But this, Andrew, this goes back to what I said about Duran as well, and the Matson and the Kellyman thing. Bro, you wanted to do these stupid PSR transfers, right? I get you want to help everyone else beat yourself. It's been said before, help yourself, man. Help yourself. But instead of helping yourself, you didn't go and get the goalkeeper that would help Maresca. If you wanted to swap anyone for that Golden kid, you could have swapped him, and you could have swapped Duran for Matson. And no, you bought KDH and Kellyman. What was the fucking point?
Someone said this.
Hold up. I need to say this right now, real quick, because the thing is, a lot of people, and I've seen it in the chat, they refuse to believe that Sanchez is making the defense worse. I'll explain it to you this way, right? If you're in a relationship, right, and your girl is cheating on you, and she's going out for girls' night, trust me, you're not going to sleep, bro. But if you've been together 10 years and she's been 100% faithful, and she's like, I'm going out with the girls, you don't care, bro. Go ahead, have fun. I believe in you. But when you don't trust her, bro, it's a long night. You refreshing Instagram stories, bro.
I get you when she was a whole before. When she was a whole before you.
That's exactly how the defense feels about Sanchez, bro. They do not trust him. They know he gonna twerk for the other team. They know it's up, bro.
You know what it is, with Sanchez. I think they tried to offload Sanchez in the summer, and the problem was there was no suitors for him. They literally, I don't think they could have found a suitable suitor for him. That's what I think probably happened.
Oh, I found one.
This season.
I found one. just loaning Petrovic to Strasbourg, just loan Sanchez to Strasbourg. They could have done that.
I know.
Wait, Ahmed,
They would have burned down the stadium.
Why couldn't we sell? Wait, here's the thing. Because we technically bought a player from our club in SAR, right? This January. Why couldn't we have sold Petrovic? Because Sanchez. Because you were saying we tried to do that with Washington, but the thing was, people found it fishy because Washington.
I was asking the question. Yeah, I don't think they could have found any suitors for him. I'm not talking about selling him to
but I'm saying why couldn't Strasbourg have bought? No, why couldn't have Strasbourg? Because the reason David Washington was so fishy is because he was a PL2 GOAT, never played a senior game in Europe, and then someone bids for him 20 million. That's gonna sound odd, right? Because we bought Sar right now for 12 million from our own club, technically, right? So we could have sold Sanchez to them.
I don't know. Do you guys I don't know. I just don't see a market for him, bro. Even
so why don't we be the market? Why doesn't Strasbourg be the market?
No, but then the reason thing is, right?
West Ham.
If you send him to Strasbourg, with Washington at least, they believe this is a prospect that could become good for Strasbourg.
Yes.
With Sanchez, you're just taking one problem and you're moving it to another club that you own, and you're giving it to them. Like,
but
you put in the dirty clothes into the closet and closing the door, bro.
Pretty much.
We're gonna deal with this later.
I'm giving my hand-me-downs to my little bro, man. Let's go.
I feel like we were able to manage something like that with Kepa, though. Essentially, the Kepa situation.
What do you mean, the Kepa situation?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Kepa's situation was our dirty laundry before Sanchez was.
Hang on,
what do you mean we handled it? We didn't handle it.
Yeah,
we never handled it.
Well,
we have
managed to work around it. Like, we're okay, you're on loan, but it's likely he's going to get bought after the season.
Our workaround, our workaround was Real Madrid's first choice keeper got an ACL injury, and his previous teammate became manager of a Premier League club. That was the workaround. It was nothing we did. We did not find a workaround. He got fucking lucky. We got lucky.
Hey, Bali, find another keeper and needs an ACL.
The literal only reason he is manager right now, the only reason he's at Bournemouth is because he played with their manager. That's the only reason.
What? He played with him?
Yeah, he played with Andoni.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. Sorry, that's
before we bought him, when he was like an 18, 19-year-old.
Boys, you want to hear the best part?
Do you know he's our longest serving player?
Is he?
Currently, you would be.
Wait, you want to hear the best part?
Go ahead, Alex.
We're gonna get 8 million for Kepa.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he's played enough games now where he gets activated that they have to pay 8 million.
No, but going back to I'm hoping Grandpa's ego comes into play.
Oh yeah, please.
He goes, he was my goalkeeper when I was doing so well at Bayern. He was.
He's got Fabianski though.
No. Fabianski is 51 years old.
Realistically, 2015 now, Marshall. What are we doing? Man? Come on.
What are we doing?
He's West Ham's Buffon, bro.
What did you do?
Hang on. No.
Don't worry, you have crimes to pay for too, buddy. I'm going after you for those Garnacho tapes.
I'm joking.
Man mentioned Buffon and Fabianski.
West Ham Buffon. The West London Buffon, bro. That's what they call him. Real quick, since we're on the topic of goalkeepers.
Wait, a huge quote for Joao Felix news, by the way, from Aston Villa's director.
Okay, word. Hold on to that real quick. I'll go on to that right after this, the goalkeeper topic, because I did want to bring up Joao Felix. So Chelsea have high hopes for Philip Jorgensen, who has been their second choice for most of the season, and Mike Penders, the goalkeeper, who will join them in the summer. So it's unlikely they will sign another goalkeeper this transfer window. Chelsea believe they already have added 2 young keepers, Penders and Jorgensen, who can provide strong competition for current first choice Robert Sanchez. That's coming from Ornstein. Shit. So Petrovic, a host of Europe's top clubs are keeping tabs on Chelsea's Georgi Petrovic following the impressive form on loan at Strasbourg. Sources have told Football Insider. Petrovic has excelled for Strasbourg since joining Chelsea's sister club on loan on just before the close of the summer transfer window. The Serbian international has been instrumental in helping Strasbourg go unbeaten in Ligue 1 since November. A string of impressive displays.
Marshall, take the chat quickly.
His form. Okay, Alexis, big up to you, brother.
Big up.
I know you gotta head out. Safe travels.
But,
Enjoy.
dude, the funny
enjoy
thing is, I
Inter.
watch you and I like your opinions. It's just we're disagreeing on the attack right now. I just want a backup striker, dude. I just want to. That's all I want. This is all I wanted in the winter with a backup striker, man.
Let's just say, by the way, big up to Alexis.
Big up to Alexis.
Big up, man.
And just want to say, Alexis, CP does this to everyone. So it's just not.
He does it to me.
Ahmed is worse. Ahmed is worse.
Just, no,
Ahmed is the worst. Prime.
I agree with
Prime is the
everything
worst.
Ahmed says. At least 95% of things. So
No.
Ahmed's never triggered me. CP,
Alexis, you were doing so well.
You're very talented.
You've done so well.
This is what I'm saying. See, I talk sense. They just don't want to hear the real talk from the Bridge Nation.
Nonsense. You talk
in a bit
nonsense.
nonsense.
Have a good night, Alexis.
It's all nonsense.
So yeah,
That's why. Remember, man. If you want the real Chelsea takes, Bridge Nation.
That's where you have to
Bridge Nation, the background nation, bro. There you go. It's ridiculous, bro. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop hearing about this for the next 3 months now. His form has brought him. His form has brought him into a number of clubs who are looking to strengthen their goalkeeping options. With the 24-year-old due to return to Chelsea in the summer, following his loan spell in France. Chelsea have started to consider their goalkeeper situation after some high-profile errors from current number one, according to Indie Football. Let's see how this materializes. Because Miguel Delaney came out and said Chelsea are interested in Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Gregor Kobel, although any move is likelier in the summer. Despite Enzo Maresca publicly backing Robert Sanchez, Chelsea have identified Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Gregor Kobel as a candidate who fits a lot of the criteria they prefer in a goalkeeper.
Can I just say quickly? Sorry, so I want to just one comment up quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Vic, yeah, you keep talking shit to me, bro. Just because your butt hurt, yeah. Last Sunday, yeah. No, genuinely, just because last Saturday, yeah, I called you out, yeah, for what was genuinely a right take about Chelsea needed to get top four. Respectfully, just shut up, yeah, and just leave the chat because we don't.
Oh my god, hold up! I remember I walked in the middle at the tail end of that.
With due respect, man.
I walked
Vic
in
right
at
now
the
in the chat.
He's just talking too much.
It's okay. I crashed this on DHL
put the gun
last
down.
stream.
I'm
It's
gonna
all good, man. It's okay.
No, it's not even put the gun down, bro, because he keeps on doing this. He's been doing it the last few streams. I've been silent on it. Just talking too much now, bro.
Disrespectful.
Shut up, yeah. I will just time you out, bro. Respectfully.
Okay. Anyway, can I say something? Because I just need to. Because I know two players now. Because I've been with Scott now for a couple of months. That trigger Scott a lot when he hears things about them. So I'm gonna say them in 2 words. Okay. We're gonna say the word Anselmino. We're gonna say Anselmino whenever he hears about Anselmino, and I'm gonna say Mike Penders. Whenever you hear those two players,
what's wrong with Mike Penders?
He's like, shut the f up. Every time
you mean 4 game, man? That's how many games he started.
Dude, whatever he the second
the
you
future
start
Chelsea
saying,
right there.
whenever you're reading something, you say Anselmino, you can see I can hear Scott saying shut the fuck up every time, bro. I know that's why. The second you said Mike Penders, I'm like, I'm waiting for Scott to say something.
No, bro, like it's because these like they mean nothing, bro. Like man talking about Mike Penders, who's played 4 games all season for the first team. Like he's going to be loaned out next summer, and then forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like Slonina was.
Alright, man.
I still got Penders in the box.
He's just another Casadei. Just another Casadei.
He is until
right,
like
guys,
that's
I'm
what
gonna shoot. So, I'm gonna shoot.
You go
Later,
shoot,
brother.
Yeah, we don't care, Surfer, man. Bye, bro.
Oh my.
Hey, big up Surfer. Fuck Ahmed.
You know what? Let me just say this.
Yeah,
Vic, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Vic, you're right in my book, bro.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Sorry, man. When I catch you, Surfer, bro.
Oh man, no, but like we were talking about it, right? Like with the whole goalkeeper situation, I feel like we're talking about getting a goalkeeper, this and that. I know Scott was alluding to it, but I feel like, yeah, sure. At the time, you could say, oh, the profile of Sanchez looked right over Petrovic, but the whole idea of Maresca was bring in a head coach that can improve the players. So I don't know why the exception was with Petrovic. Like, what made you think you could improve on Sanchez? It's a lot easier to improve on a younger player than it is an older one. You can't, sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
No,
So-
but there's I don't think that I'll be real.
Yeah,
I think a little bit of it was he didn't think he'd
politics.
have to. No, but some of it's pointless. But I also think in terms of where they were starting at for the system, the Sanchez started at a better point in terms of he fit the system more to begin with. Like whether we like to admit it or not, or we like it or not, he started at a point where he fit the system just because he's used to being a sweeper keeper. He's used to playing with the ball at his feet. Like that's just because of where he's played at previously and who he's played under. But we've seen that Petrovic has had such a drastic improvement under Liam Rosina at Strasbourg that I don't think any of us expected, especially in the distribution phase. Like I don't think any of us expected that.
No,
so like that's the thing.
I'll be
Also
honest,
on the goalkeeper thing quickly as well. The reason I just don't care, like Penders could end up being great. He could be the next Courtois or whatever. I don't care because everything we hear about him is what we heard about Slonina. And everything we heard about Slonina is the same shit we heard about Casadei. And it's the same shit we heard about Next Man. And it's the same shit we heard about Next Man. All these guys, we get briefed the same thing all the time. It's the same thing with every player. It was the same with Angelo until we sold him. It was the same with Casadei until we eventually sold him. It was the same with
part of the project.
It's the same with. It was the same with Petrovic till we loaned him out. It's the same with every fucking player. It's the boy who cried wolf with every player. So when we sign Next Man and get told he's the next big thing, I couldn't give a shit.
All I know is if you're older than 21, then I know you're definitely gonna be a star at Chelsea, bro. At least in the short term. I mean that's guaranteed in it. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a wonder kid like Aston, essentially. That's the only one I can really give like our body experience to. Because and again, you know,
experience, huh?
What the?
You said it, bro.
Listen, alas, like
that's a lot about experience, man. Okay.
Listen, alas, you know, listen, Astro Projection. There you go.
Who you giving Astro body experience?
Listen. I said Astro Projection. That's what I was talking about. But,
no, I get it.
You know.
No, I get it. Sanchez makes you so angry. It's an out of body.
Exactly. Thank you.
Just a visceral reaction.
You know what it is though, honestly.
I asked to protect my anger, dude. I get it, man. I asked to protect.
You know what it is though, honestly, in terms of the goalkeeper scenario, I think it's Kobel this season has been having like a below average season, in my personal opinion. At the end of the day, like, but even though I still
big up
rate
Joey.
him, even though I still rate him, even though.
Pause.
Listen. Why is he here, bro? Why is he here, man? I don't want him to be here. I don't want him to be here,
Listen,
bro.
I don't know why Joey's here.
He's the reason, by the way. You know, if you want to blame someone for Garnacho coming to this club, it's because he had to just make me get pissed off, about him losing my basketball team, losing to his, bro. That did not happen, bro.
Hold that.
I wouldn't have written what I written.
Hold that.
You know what I mean? So listen, you should have told the Knicks, to not beat the Nuggets.
Which team? Are you talking about Boston? Which team, Ahmed? Which team? The Nuggets or Boston? Huh? Tell me about it.
When you get Garnacho, you ain't gonna be doing that. You ain't gonna be doing that when you get Garnacho. That's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna be doing that. There you go, man.
You know you support the same club, right? You know you support the same club,
but like, I don't care, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but on a serious note, going back to the goalkeeper scenario,
we do streams every single week. He's not gonna do nothing. He's just talking. That's all. He's all talking. We're doing the stream tomorrow, son. Like, what are we talking about here?
Honestly, one thing I will say, go back to actually serious talk now. Kobel, I wouldn't mind him, but I think Kobel probably going to be a bit too expensive for us, in my personal opinion, right? And I also think he's had a bit of a down season, right? Again, I go back to what I was.
So is Dortman, isn't it?
Ahmed, what do you mean by expensive?
Because I think they probably will demand. They will probably demand 60 million. I'll be honest with you.
Wait, 60 million for Kobel?
Yeah, and I honestly
that's a good price.
And what I would say to
I
that,
think
what I
it'd
would
be more than that.
It might be more than that, but like the point I would say though is still, I think there's better value in the market and guys who are equally as good as him.
Can you name him?
Price him, and I will name them right now. You guys have been hearing me say this guy since day dot. Chevalier, I've named him for quite a while. He would probably cost us 35-40 million. They can negotiate that the sporting directors at the very least. I know they can do that. Goodbye. Bolka's another one, probably in the similar range. You can get him, and he will do that for you too, right? So again, as I said before, there's I think quality in the market for better prices. That's what I would say. You know what I mean?
I'll be so honest. If we're going and getting some of these guys like Bulker and Chevalier, I'd rather just keep Petrovic.
No, I disagree. Chevalier is actually better than them. I'll be honest.
No, I agree. I agree with Scott.
You know, here's the thing with the same issue. I don't think that there's many worse keepers than the one we have right now.
Yeah.
So there's not much. Like
if we move to Jorgensen from this, I don't believe it's going to get that much worse. Like,
Jorgensen's trash, man.
to be honest, every time I've seen Jorgensen play, he's very calm with the ball at his feet. So like that's one thing that we don't have with Sanchez. Like we just don't have that shit. So like,
also, I think as well, like with the goalkeeper thing, just quickly is it just goes back to what I said, like with the Jorgensen thing when we bought him. Like, I understand that the market is not great for a lot of players in terms of at the top level, but like you have to at least try. Like if we're going to get a goalkeeper, the likes of Kobel or Oblak or Costa or whoever, like that's what we should be going.
What about Manyan? Was he still in a good season?
Say again?
Manyan, like I know he had that injury.
Manyan's got the injury problem, is what it is.
Yeah,
but like,
but you don't really.
These are the type of guys you should be getting. Because if you're just going and getting a Jorgensen, a Bulker, a these man, it's like
it's just no point, right?
They're not needle movers. They're just the same as what you have. Like they're all just kind of same. Like you're just banking on them being like ones for the future. Like the only one that I could maybe hear, the only one I could maybe hear is Chevalier, and that's at least because he has, like, he's been there a while. He's played a few seasons. Like he has at least got some level of experience. Like outside of him, like all these other dudes just like they're just in the same bracket as Jorgensen, another up and comer who's had like one good year, who like we're going to be in the same conversation with.
Yeah, no, I agree. But to me, like the goalkeeping situation's like probably like fourth on my list of shit that I want to take care of with this club.
Yeah,
no, I just need to not play Sanchez, and I feel like this situation gets better. Like that's just my personal opinion behind it.
I mean, we saw that last season with Petrovic. We dropped Sanchez and they got Bella.
I know a lot of people, you know, rate are saying bring on Jorgensen. He might be a game changer. I don't know, bro.
He's better than Sanchez. I don't care.
I honestly,
I don't know.
Regardless,
He's clear.
Regardless, this guy Jorgensen. The one thing that we've seen, okay, just based off, it doesn't matter what you believe, but what you've seen with your own eyes is that Sanchez, when he distributes the ball, it is very, very, very shaky. Okay, that is the one thing we can all sit here and we can agree. Don't forget about like the saves and just in distribution itself. It causes us our own team problems. I've seen it with Jorgensen. He can at least drive the ball into the midfield from the goalkeeper. Like I've seen it where it's he can do it. That's it. He can do it, but you got to at least give him a chance. If you don't give him a chance, we're just gonna sit here and be watching the same mistakes over and over and over again.
But even on that giving him a chance thing though, like I feel like, listen, whether you think Jorgensen's better or not, fine, that's your opinion. At the end of the day, time will tell if what is the truth, right? But just on that alone, if you're playing this keeper in Sanchez and continuing to play him through errors, I feel like there comes a point where like you need to play the other keeper on merit. Like, okay, Sanchez, you've been costing me games. I'm gonna bench you because you need to like gather yourself. You need to fix up, and I'm going to give this other guy a try and see how he performs, because you can't keep like rewarding and this is where I hope it's not politics, right? You can't keep rewarding Sanchez with starts if he keeps making errors and errors and errors again. What is that? How does that make Jorgensen feel? You know what I'm saying? So there's an aspect too with Maresca. I'm just like, bro, like drop him at some point.
Can I ask you something? Cause
but haven't we? You guys brought it up. There's definitely fucking politics behind all this shit.
I think so.
Like we need to fucking we need to make sure Ben Roberts does never ever get a chance to do this shit again. Like just plain and simple. He don't literally do not deserve another chance to do this shit again.
So yeah, Ahmed, I was asking why do you think Jorgensen is not much of it? Because here's the thing, I think they're on par with in terms of saving. I think that personally, because this guy Sanchez also made mistakes saving wise. But ball playing, he's light years ahead. One guy completes 56% of his passes. The other guy completes 95%. So if they're at the same level in terms of saving, but light years ahead of passing, he's way better. I'm not saying he's world class. I'm not even saying he's one of the best in the league. But compared to Sanchez, he would be way better.
Sorry, boys. I gotta head out. Have a good one.
That's what I don't get when you're saying it's not much of an upgrade. I think it is, because if there's the same level in terms of passing, but way better in terms of ball playing, then that's way better for me. So I that's what I don't kind of ask why you think you keep on saying it's not much of an upgrade, but to me it is, because Sanchez.
But that's the point, though. When I say it's not much of an upgrade, I mean probably in terms of overall goalkeeping wise, right? But will it bring? I think the word I think you're looking for some level of competency in the back line.
Yeah.
I think yes. Then okay. Then that I think is
I mean, like the worst we can do is try at this point with this guy. Like we have to give him a run of games. There's no way we can allow Sanchez to continue to do this. Like there's just no way.
Agreed, and it's again like you're just rewarding the player with bad performances by continuing to play him on.
That's like a beyond.
I'm gonna go eat my late night snack. I'll be back.
Yeah, all right. See you in a bit.
Yeah, but listen, I did eat
all
day
day
today.
over there.
I did eat all day today, so I had to eat something now. Otherwise, I'm gonna go hungry.
Okay, there you
go hungry then.
Fuck you, Chris.
God damn.
Why don't you go hungry, mate?
Chris,
I will. I'll go hungry with you.
Go shake a sheep, Chris. Go shake a sheep.
Jesus Christ.
Yo.
There's too many fights happening in my stream tonight. It's been entertaining, but it's crazy. What were you gonna say though, Chris?
Crazy.
No, it's just I believe Jurgensen's a better save than Sanchez. I've seen countless times near post or whatever, like just against Haaland in his positioning.
Yeah, the basics.
Yeah, like his positioning is awful. I think is saving like near post where he should be saving. I think Jurgensen do all that fine, and I think his saving is actually still better than Sanchez's. And yeah, his passing is clear, and that's why I don't get why Enzo Maresca likes playing from the back, and he has Jurgensen, who can play from the back pretty good. He's
actually the type of player he needs to play. Like it's kind of sad.
Well, and when to Ahmed, we're not saying like we want to keep Jurgensen for like next 5 years or whatever. I want to see what he does, but like I don't think he'd be the long-term plan. Yeah, Poch saw this with Petrovic, and Petrovic did wonders. I thought he did pretty good. He did a lot better than Sanchez. It's a recurring thing with Sanchez.
But that's
like
what I mean.
Brighton, there was
I
better
hope it's
keepers
not
at Brighton.
politics. Like I hope it's not politics, because if it's politics, we're just gonna keep seeing Sanchez, and I really hope that's not the case.
What does he have over him?
Nah, bro. If it's politics and we do see Sanchez, we gotta fucking the fan base gotta start.
I don't.
No, the directors have to go.
Why? Because he's done
the fan
nothing
base
for
gotta
Chelsea.
start doing something, bro. We can't sit on our hands.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for me, in part, it's to do. We didn't pay that much for Sanchez.
Yeah, 20
I think
million.
Sanchez's transfer was around 20 millions. So if Sanchez does decently, this is how I'm thinking of it. If Sanchez has a decent season, then you can flip him for like 40 or 30 or whatever.
Get rid of
to
him.
someone. Because, we managed to get rid of Kepa. We managed to make some money off Vega, who barely played, and he's going to come back from his loan, and we're going to probably flip. Like, there's marginal profit, but there's still profit to be made.
What is this la la land you're living in where we're going to get 40 million for Sanchez? We still haven't sold Kepa, and we're going to get him now for 8 million. He's going to go away for 8 million, by the way.
His value's going down as well.
After 10 years, he's going
I
away
don't think
for
you
8
have to
million.
make a profit, though. Like, I think
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I agree we can sell him, but Marshall's saying this la la land of 40 million. No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. We can sell him for break even or a little bit of a loss, but Marshall's saying if he has a good season, we can sell him to 30 to 40. I don't know what la la land you're living in.
I think that Marshall's saying that was like the plan to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like
it could
I
be
think that's like
in turmoil.
That was my whole thought with keeping Sanchez in the first place. Like that's what I thought it would be. In essence, is just him being there to fucking restore some of his value after being dropped.
But even then, like we have had players that went through bad patches of form, and we still managed to sell them for a lot more than we thought they were going to sell for, considering their bad form. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount being examples. I'm sure there's more players there that if I sat down and really thought about it, we can probably have an actual discussion of those players. But big up to Ilkan for the $4.99 super chat. We need this 11: goalkeeper Kobel, right back James, center back Colwell, Chalaba, left back Cucurella, CDM Caicedo, double pivot with Enzo, I guess, Palmer, your McCam, Nani at right wing, striker Mark Guiu, and left
we're
wing
not
Neto.
buying a fucking striker. It's a fucking damn shame.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's
I guess someone's
it's,
done with
it's
Jackson.
accurate. I mean,
Marshall, those players
someone
you
is
said,
done with Jackson.
Marshall, those
Yeah.
players you said that weren't producing well, but we sold them for a lot of money. What did they do? They won a Champions League. They had credit in the bank. What has Sanchez
We're gonna win
done?
the Conference League. What are you talking about, bro?
What is Sanchez gonna? What is Sanchez? No, he's not. No.
Gonna win the Conference
Sanchez
League.
isn't. No, but Sanchez isn't playing Conference League games, so
Yes.
he's not gonna win the Conference League.
true.
Jorgensen is.
He'll play the final, man. He'll play the
once
final.
again,
He'll
I
play
swear,
the Conference.
I'm Enzo.
Once again, what has Sanchez done for our club or any of his clubs?
I'd hate
He was
Enzo
10th.
with that.
He was 10th.
Yeah.
He was 10th with Brighton and 8th.
Yeah.
Not when they're flying high.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Time will tell. Time will tell. But since we just brought up the whole striker situation, I do want to take this moment to transition into the Rant situation that's been going on and people have been going crazy over. I think people have been going crazy a little bit over nothing. We'll see my thoughts on this. But before I continue, ladies and gents, over 100 of you are watching. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to check out all the links in the description to support all the channels. Go give Joey some love as well. Wob Sports. It's just Wob Sports, right? On YouTube?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Wob Sports on YouTube for Joey if you want to check out his content as well. He does watch alongs with Ahmed and RSM and all of them. And yeah, guys, so subscribe to the channel if you're new here as well. Helps out the channel tremendously. And also be sure to check out Alexis's channel because he's trying to hit a goal. His subscriber goal. Yeah, he's really close. So yeah, go help him out. It's he's got great content over there. But okay, let's get into this because I'm just mixing them all together because they all are like a triangle of transfers, which is the whole Disasi, Felix, and Duran deal, right, with Aston Villa. So we've been negotiating with Aston Villa recently, and we have here earlier in the week that Axel Disasi has agreed personal terms with Aston Villa. Disasi wants to join Villa despite interest from more clubs around Europe after direct talks with Unai Emery, crucial to get the green light. Deal now up to Chelsea and Villa reach full agreement. This was a translation here. Discussions underway between Aston Villa and Chelsea for loan without an option to buy. Negotiations on track, according to RMC Sport. Axel Disasi and Aston Villa have already reached an agreement. The French international was courted by AC Milan and Napoli. We continue on here. It's now up to Chelsea and Aston Villa to find an agreement. Aston Villa have been in touch with Chelsea yesterday and will again today for both João Felix and Axel Disasi. Disasi only wants Villa. Felix deal depends on what Chelsea decide to do. Aston Villa have sent official bid for Axel Disasi, loan, personal with fee plus salary coverage. It's now up to Chelsea, which to me kind of a no-brainer. Just get him off the books, and hopefully under Emery he gets more play time. We can eventually sell him off, right? Because no one wants him at the club. A firm decision, this is according to Dave Ornstein here, a firm decision has yet to be made, but should bids around £80 million arrive for John Duran and it suits all parties, a switch is certainly possible. And this was obviously before the Here We Go that he got. Chelsea showed an interest in Duran in January of last year and last summer. But the current expectation is that the Saudi striker, or the expectation is that the striker will move on to Saudi Arabia if he leaves Villa during the final week of the transfer window. Al Nassr are on the verge of reaching a verbal agreement with Aston Villa for John Duran for €75 million fee with add-ons, but formal steps needed as Al Nassr also have advanced negotiations in place for Victor Boniface from Bayern Leverkusen, and only one striker will join, and that striker is John Duran. So John Duran set for medical in London on Thursday before proposed move to Aston Villa to Al Nassr. €77 million plus add-ons agreed in principle and 55.5-year contract in place. Arsenal made approach for Ollie Watkins on Monday, quickly rebuffed, obviously, because that's the only striker. And here's the Here We Go story from earlier tonight, confirmed as documents are being prepared. Aston Villa to receive €77 million fixed fee plus add-ons. Long-term deal accepted for Duran. Medical booked tomorrow, and then he will travel to Saudi Arabia. And this is something that I looked at this, and this is actually recent. And I looked at it twice, and I was like, why are they bringing up articles from last summer? No, this is a new article reiterating what was already said about Chelsea's interest in Duran last summer. But Chelsea dropped interest in Duran after carrying out checks on his temperament and character. This isn't news, guys. This is something we already knew in the summer, but that'll lead me to my point, right? So exclusive Aston Villa are keen on signing João Felix. Chelsea are in direct contact with Aston Villa. So several clubs still interested in Felix. Unai Emery is working to bring João Felix to Aston Villa. Sergio Conceição, Milan coach, also wants Felix, according to Duncan Castles there. So Fabrizio also saying things could happen for João Felix in the last few days of the window, as many clubs are calling his agent. Unai Emery loves the player. If there is a way to do it, Villa remains interested, as he nearly joined them last summer before Chelsea come in. Not a guaranteed exit, so let's see. Aston Villa are set to step up their pursuit for João Felix following the Duran sale. We have here also from Chelsea source, the Felix believes he's good enough and can break into the Chelsea team. He is happy to fight for his place in the team. However, Mendes is pushing for him to move. He does not want Felix's value to lower due to little game time. He wants Felix to leave in January. So potentially, take it with a pinch of salt, potentially this could be a agent enforced move. Obviously, we're seeing from sources that his agent is being contacted for a move. Aston Villa, one of several clubs monitoring João Felix's situation ahead of final days in the window. His agent, Jorge Mendes, talking to many clubs as reported last week. We continue on here. João Felix is not guaranteed exit by Unai Emery. Unai Emery is in love with him. There's ways to do it. It could happen. Many clubs are calling Jorge Mendes. Yeah, love story here. Chelsea and Aston Villa has spent today talking to each other. This is from today. Oh no, 2 days ago. People close to João Felix believe Emery could finally be the coach to play. Trust him. And then right here from today, breaking Aston Villa director Monchi saying the following: in the last summer transfer market, we were close to bringing him. In the end, he decided to go to Chelsea after the exchange with Atletico. He has always been an object of our desire. That's a weird thing to call someone, but okay. Unai,
love's in the air, man. It's Feb almost, Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy. This is crazy. Unai knows how to recover talent. He knows how to bring the best out of a player. Felix and Asensio, one of them is difficult on salary level and one is difficult based on cost, but they attract Unai. A lot to digest there, a lot to go over. I'll say this with the Duran situation. Personally, me, and listen, I've been on conspiracy theory watch because lately the way our ownership has been moving has been insane. Or not even our ownership, our directors. For me, I don't think we were ever in for Duran. I think the journalists knew very well how much of outrage there was on Duran last season and in January when we were linked to him. Then the flip-flop on Duran once they saw how he performed in Champions League, how he's performed this season in the Premier League, so on and so forth, right? So I think the journalists put the name out there. I think the journalists wanted clicks. I think to an extent, something to juice up the deal for Al Nassr to come in and bid what they bid for a player that's he hasn't even had a full season yet. Last season he came in as a sub. This season still as a sub. Sometimes benching Ollie Watkins. To get that much money out of Al Nassr is actually crazy. That's crazy money for that player. Not to say he
Come on,
doesn't
Nani
deserve
Madueke,
it.
80 million. I believe.
I
believe next summer.
I
believe.
Oh yeah.
So he's a great player. But to me, I think, because this is what doesn't make sense to me, guys. Why would Chelsea? Listen, weirder things have happened at this club, right? But to me, it doesn't make sense that Chelsea would be in for Duran, and for them to come out with this exact article. Like, am I lying? This is the exact thing we heard last season on the temperament.
Yeah, word
thing.
for word. You know,
Word for word.
They like to control the imagery of how they see how the directors see themselves and how the owners see themselves, and they like to try to control the narrative every time to sound like it's never their fucking fault. They're doing their due diligence.
Obviously, there's a theory that we're trying to save face. We were rejected 3 times.
Yeah,
I just don't think we were ever in.
What do you mean
not
by
this
3 times?
time. Okay, so Ahmed, who's not here, he might join us and he might defend his point. We were just going at it on Twitter before we started here.
Okay.
No one talked to me on Twitter. I'm unhinged right now.
Okay. I just talk on Twitter, so that's fine.
It's okay. So basically, we went in for him in January, got rejected. We went in for him in the summer, got rejected. We went in for him this window and got rejected. That's the Ahmed theory, and that's why they're coming out with this PR, right?
But we didn't get rejected for John Duran in the summer. We got accepted.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Things were happening, and then what happened was our sporting directors decided, oh, we're going to be dumb shits, and then flake in the last moment to do some PSR deal. Because we did the same thing with João Felix and Atletico Madrid, where we were going for Samu. Samu was going to do his medical here, and then we decided, oh, some injury history bullshit, just like with Duran and his attitude bullshit. Just the report comes out just because they want to fucking bail, and then we help another team out. Let's call it this thing.
But
why
that's
the
what I'm
fuck are we
saying,
like a
like-
Robin Hood? We're stealing from the rich, but we're the fucking rich that we're stealing from, and then giving to the poor.
But for me, it doesn't make sense to, one, go back in for him in January, right? I mean, yeah, it makes sense in the sense that you need a striker. That I get. But I don't think he was ever a target, because why would you go back in for him when he's more expensive than he was in the summer? And two, if it's the reasons, if this is true that we dropped in just because of temperament and character, bro, his temperament and character didn't change since summer until January. He's the same person. Like, what are we doing here? So this Telegraph article to me tells me that we were never actually in for him. This is the same exact thing that happened last summer. Like, we were never in for him. We were just being used for clicks and all that stuff. People were being baited.
No, we were in for him last summer, and I think we
last summer, not this window. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. We were never in for him this window.
No, we could have been, because here's the thing: you're applying logic, which these sporting directors don't have. So I don't know why you keep on applying this thing called logic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just a logic brain.
These idiots could have been like, oh well, like he, because here's the thing: they were asking for 40 million for Duran, which we were initially fine with before the whole behavior bullshit article came out. So they're like, oh well, now he's scoring some goals. Maybe he validates that 40 million. Maybe you can push it to like 50. So we're gonna try to inquire about him. Right? They're gonna do that. Like, hey, what's the price you're asking for now? And they're like, well, you're not getting him for anything close to what you were getting him in the summer, buddy. So good luck with that. At bare minimum of 60 to 70 million or nothing at all. And then Al Nassr comes in and you're fucked.
Why didn't any teams from Saudi? Who's the club who bought Duran?
Al Nassr.
Al Nassr, yeah. Why don't they just go for an Osherman? He's cheaper, bigger name. I get maybe he doesn't want to go there. Maybe he doesn't want to go there. That's the reason. But like,
because he's hoping. Well, yeah, but I don't think Saudi don't go back on their players, dude. Once they bid for you and they try to go for you and things break down, they don't go for you again. It's like
Chris,
you gotta
the same point.
Yeah,
it's
Chris. You don't reject Saudi. Saudi rejects you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's the lottery ticket. You say yes to the lottery ticket. If you deny us, then we're never gonna go for you again. You're not getting this lottery ticket again. That's what they do, dude. You don't say no to them. They might inquire, like they might bid once or twice with the club and be like, okay, so just give us what the number is.
So you're saying Lukaku's hopes and dreams to get to Saudi when he gets older is over because he rejected?
Yeah, probably, to be honest, he might go.
Well, yeah. He's not getting that anytime. Yeah, hell no.
The only exception to that rule, though, Chris, is Mo Salah. That's it.
Yeah, but that's because he's literally the best Muslim player in the world right now. One of the best players, arguably the best player in the world in current form, right? So it's like, they're that's like the marquee signing. That's like their Ronaldo right
100%.
now. So they're gonna try that.
80 million for Duran. I know Saudi Arabia that can just throw money at whoever, but he ain't like that good.
Oh,
like,
you haven't heard the Matoma news? They're putting in 90 million.
I seen that. I can't believe it.
Brian rejected a 70 million offer for him, and so they're going. Al Nassr is apparently reported going again.
Yeah, they can get more money out of Saudi for sure. So
yeah,
I don't blame them.
So Nani Madueke, 60
to
70
come
million.
on,
Quick,
we got a lot of talent.
Before we continue the conversation, Ilkan, thank you once again for the $4.99 super chat. Isak or Gyökeres are a must. I love this club, but damn, are we smart? We do 2 good signings and 35 bad ones. I mean, there's obviously there's reservations with any signing, and the
I don't think
reservations
35 bad. Yeah, I think it's like half and half.
I think because we signed a lot of like pointless signings, like 7 goalkeepers and stuff like that, and
there are a lot of I think there's a few. I think there's a little
bit
more pointless.
Well, you can say right now Petrovic is a hit.
Enzo, Cole Palmer. I don't think Jackson was a bad buy, even though I don't think he rates him. But like, for 30 million, Jackson wasn't too bad.
Yeah, Gusto for 20 million. we got Petrovic for only like 12 million, by the way, and he's going to be easily more than that. So these are hits.
we made profit on him. I guess
Yeah,
we are profit.
we're gonna
FC,
make
man.
profit.
We're just profit FC.
And even Casadei, we're gonna sell him for 13.
40% sell-on clause is crazy.
Yeah, like
that is a crazy sell-on clause. We'll obviously go over it if we have time, but it's crazy.
We're gonna do because we're gonna sell him for 13 million in Casadei. We bought him for 14, but we're gonna have a 20% sell-on clause, so we're gonna get more money.
Well, we had the loan at Reading, and we had a little bit of a fee, so we basically broke even, and then we're gonna have a sell-on clause.
Same with Renato Vega. We bought him for like 12-13 million. Already got 5 million off him.
That's insane. No, like there are some the profit. Okay, like Alexis did put this in a good way in his last video, which again, if you haven't checked out Alexis, go ahead and check it out. But when you look at all the transfers with the Santos transfer, with Casadei, Angelo, and all that stuff, yeah, we may have made small profits on each individual one, but when you add it up, it's a good chunk of change. It's a good chunk of change that you actually made off of those signings. So it does put into perspective a little bit how these
because we got Santos for 20 million. We bought Santos for 20 million.
I really hope
easily worth 40 to
Santos.
50 right now. Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah. I hope we don't sell him.
I'll be honest. If we sell him in the summer,
out.
if we sell him this summer, I'm officially done with this club because that means any player is up for sale, and that means I'm gonna put Cole Palmer in that boat. I'm gonna put Esteval in a couple of years in that boat because Santos is in a ridiculous level at his age at 19 turning 20 or 20 right now. Sorry, he's already at a ridiculous level, and if you sell him, like the whole point was we're supposed to be getting these players beforehand, like an Enzo or a Caicedo.
At least develop them a little bit before you sell them.
No. Well, he is being
barely developed any of these players.
Well, their whole mantra was, hey, we're gonna buy Caicedo and Enzo before they even move to Brighton or a Benfica, right, on the low, and then have these players. We want to skip the whole process of paying 100 million again for another amazing midfielder. So, dude, you got that kind of level right now. You got a Caicedo level right now for 20 million pounds. Don't sell them.
Yeah, and speaking on selling too, like obviously there's been a lot of I don't get this fan base. People are upset because we want to loan Disasi to rivals. Bro, you guys didn't want Disasi.
He's not good.
Just loan him out. Who cares?
He's like fourth, fifth choice centre back. He's not good. I don't care where he goes.
Like who cares?
To, like Man City.
First of all, he can't play against us, right? So it's not like he's going to prevent us from like
a
game-winning goal.
He's gonna help him.
Yeah, but like
not really.
It's like he's not helping us. He's not helping us.
He's not better than Chalobah. He's not better than Tosin. He's not better than Colwell.
Keeps getting played at right back, and then we get exposed at right back. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, because he can't play centre back first.
So I don't know why Chelsea fans are crashing out because
we're strengthening our rivals. If we can get him for 20, 30 million to a rival, I'd take it.
Marshall, like I said, if that player doesn't work out for us and then move to another club and do well, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as we get a lot of money for them or as much as we can, I don't care. Right?
But how do we feel about?
I don't care.
I agree with that. How do we feel about the Felix thing though?
Oh, he can go.
Wait, we're letting go Felix too. I mean,
did you miss the whole segment I talked
about? He literally fucking talked about this for 7 whole minutes. With 6
I maybe weren't there for 5. I don't know. I heard you mention it.
It was 7 minutes of just Felix and 5 links just specifically with regards to Felix.
Yeah.
9 tweets on Felix, and you missed that whole entire thing.
I was gonna let my dog out. I guess I heard you mention it, but I don't know what it's for.
And 3 of them had Disasi in it, so I'll just let them go. So the ones solely about Felix were 6 to 5. So I don't know how the hell. I don't know.
So Felix is linked to Aston Villa, essentially, Chris, because Unai Emery has this really weird fetish.
Desires him,
5 million.
lusts him, sexually fantasizes about him, caresses him in his bed.
Bro, are you good, bro?
Yes, true.
Please be gentle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I joined him. He said like he loves him. He's on about Felix. He loves.
Yes, that's who he loves. That's who he's.
That's when I came in.
Who he desires since a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying?
It's a strange.
All these sexual terms.
60 to
all these
50
sexual terms.
million. He's yours, man. He's yours.
He's not going for 60.
Oh, so you don't care?
Yeah.
What's he going for?
I think.
No, but I'm just saying, like you don't care if he stays or go.
He has no use as a squad, really.
Yeah, he's a squad. I don't care.
He's not even a squad player.
Him.
That's generous.
He
barely plays. He barely plays.
You replace him. So my logic is then because also I know you'll talk about it later. The Tellen and Kunku situation looks like it's kind of off.
But
so
we kind of already talked about it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that I'm saying. So then Nkunku would be the new 10 that everyone wants to finally give him a chance. No, I'm saying.
But do you want that though? Do you want that?
Well, yeah, because everyone keeps on like, oh no, we haven't really put him in his position.
But what do you think?
He needs to be in the 10. So let's fucking put him in the 10, because he's still worth more than João Felix. Let's be honest. He actually has money in the bank because he's done things in his life besides look like Ricardo Kaká's younger son.
Wait.
So.
What do you want though, Curry? Like, do you really think that you would prefer to have Nkunku as a 10?
So that's what I'm saying. So you use that money, so you sell Felix for 50 or 40 or whatever fuck it is. You use that money to either get a lone striker that's a different profile than Jackson, or you buy a striker, or you put, like, let's say if you really want Delap, put 60 million on Delap right now, because you got 50 to 40 million for selling João Felix. You can afford to put another 20 million and you get Delap right now. That's what I'm saying. So then Nkunku would play the 10, and then we would have a striker.
The problem is, though, in an ideal world, that's great. And listen, I don't mind Delap. I think go for Delap this window. That'd be amazing. But I personally don't think Ipswich was. You should try. That's what Scott was saying before, right? At least try. But I just don't think Ipswich are going to sell because they're trying to. Why would we
want Delap? He'd be worth like what, 40, 50 million at least.
Well, there's a bunch of links to Delap.
He's not done better than Jackson. He's not done better than Jackson this season. He's not done better. And why would we want that? I want something better than Jackson.
Yes, he has. You know why? No. Can I tell you how he's? Chris, you know how I can tell you he's done better? Because he's on, I think, 7 to 8 goals, which is one less than Jackson.
Yeah,
on a relegation team, where he has little to no service compared to Nicholas Jackson.
I actually don't know how many chances he gets.
And way better quality of players.
If we can see how many chances he gets.
Yeah, but if such is not,
But sometimes Jackson don't get any chances.
I bet you money. It's gonna be. No, dude, he gets way more than you're going to have a relegation Ipswich who have to be doing counterattack.
Yeah, I don't. Even if he's better than Jackson, I don't think he's much better than Jackson if he is. I want someone big, Osherman or Yorkers, who are like.
No, I get, we get it. We know.
I don't want to go that route of another young striker. I'm going to lose it if we get him.
But we're linked with Delap.
Yeah, I know.
We're linked with Delap.
To me,
here's the thing.
We should Delap, and we're also linked with Jeremy Sesko. So if we're gonna go
Ben
for
Jeremy,
the
is that how you say it? Ben Jeremy?
No, because
no, but
I don't trust
on the lap. There's a point of view on it. There's a point of view on the lap that I do agree with. There's two ways you can go about it. Either with the striker situation, actually you could probably go both ways. With the striker situation right now, you can either go for a profile similar to Jackson that suits the system, right? That you can just interchange. If Jackson's not working in the system, try a Delap that would work in the system. He does the same. He does a lot of the same things that Jackson does. A very similar profile. Or
and he's played in the Man City Academy.
And he's playing in the Man City Academy. Maresca knows him already. He's familiar with him. Or you go the other route, which is get a different profile of striker that can provide you something else that Jackson doesn't do. He might not fit the system, but he at least can give you headers. He can stay in the box, give you better finishing type of striker. I think you can do both, to be honest, but you would have to do 2 young options if you were to do both. That's where I'm at. And I don't know what other strikers out there that is similar to Jackson that is like a known entity. To your point, Chris, pretty much.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I want the Man City to stay away from these strikers.
Yeah, but we're not gonna. So yes, but you keep on applying logic. Once again, we're linked with everyone fucking young. They're not a DiCaprio. Stop wishing for things that are
DiCaprio.
Let's stop this daydreaming.
Let's stop daydreaming
about Gilchrist and everyone. Yeah, let's stop.
But that's what I keep saying, though, CP.
After the age of 25.
But that's what I keep saying in terms of like I feel like maybe it's just me. I feel like expecting all these things that people wanted to in a January transfer window with these owners or with these directors, I think was a pipe dream. You're just setting yourself up to be disappointed because last window.
No, you can get someone on loan. You can get a different profile, at least on loan. Even me and Scott are saying you don't need to even get the biggest name. Just get someone with a different profile, even on loan. Even on loan. We're not even saying buy the man.
Yeah, I get that. But when I said, like, what if we went for what's his face on loan, Kolomuani on loan, just a loan, people were not about it. And I know Kolomuani isn't like the hottest commodity right now prior to his move to PSG. But a loan, it's a loan.
Oh yeah, a loan's a loan. I wouldn't.
But he's not. But he's not. The thing is, no. But the thing is, he's not a different profile. He's a 6-foot guy like Jackson is, who's also not good in the air like Jackson is, who's also not good at converting like Jackson is. So you're just spending money on a loan on Jackson, but French.
Jackson, but French. Okay.
But obviously Jackson is better, I think, obviously. Yeah. But I'm saying Jackson's better link up. But that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying get a man
I'm
who's
not saying
a different
keep
profile.
Him. It's just a different option. Because I'm sorry.
No, but
I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Curry. No, but I'm saying Moani's not different. I get you. Get me an actual different option who's good aerially and stuff. Mm-hmm. Or at least converting chances. Then I'm fine with that, right?
Listen,
but the thing is sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with Felix. If we are gonna go for Delap in the summer, let's just fucking, as Joey and Scott said, we don't want Delap, we want Oshiman. But if you're hell bent on Delap in the summer, why don't we just get him now? We get the money from the Felix deal, right? Whatever, maybe 40, 50 million, let's say.
Yeah.
And let's say it's 40 million, and they want 70 million or 60 million. Let's be like, okay, here's 65 million. We got our 40 million from Villa or 50 million from Villa. Here's an extra 20 to 30 million from our own pockets, and here you go. Now we got our alternative option, at least for the season. And he can at least play the season, give us a different option, and maybe adapt Humbreska's system. So for next season, we can do better.
That's obviously if Ipswich were to allow the move. And then they would have to find a backup for Delap leaving as well. So, like, it could be possible. I wouldn't mind it, like, but we never made the effort with Kolomuani, which what I'm trying to defend here, right? Like, I feel like it's a harmless loan. All you have to do is pay the salary for half a year, right? Or until the summer, which is like 4-5 months away, right? At that point, one, there's the theory that potentially the system doesn't suit him at PSG. The manager doesn't suit him at PSG. The PSG loan didn't work out. He was a decent striker, or a decent profile, I would say, when he was at Monaco. And when we were linked to him while he was at Monaco, people were somewhat interested.
Frankfurt.
Oh, sorry. For some reason I keep thinking he was Monaco. Frankfurt.
No, it's all good. Frankfurt,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, maybe it's one of those things where at PSG it just doesn't work out, but at Chelsea it suits him a little better. Maybe it's one of those things, and I think it's a little bit. It's a lot less. It's a lot more harmless than people like to point out. Like, because people say Kolomuani, you're like, oh, he's horrible.
Marshall,
like,
he doesn't.
I don't know.
But my thing is, but he doesn't give a different profile. But that's the thing. He doesn't. Like I said, he's not good in the air.
Yeah, I get
less
that.
link up than Jackson. Mm-hmm. So that's what.
But that's where I go back to the other one, though.
I don't care about the
CP,
name.
Where
so, yeah.
I think that's where I go with the other theory, right? Where it's like you could potentially just get the same profile but a different player that suits the system to replace Jackson when Jackson's in bad form, because maybe that player that suits the system might be in better form.
But no, because also Moani is as bad or worse than Jackson in converting.
Yeah,
even in the Serie A right now.
I get that. I get that. Big up to Ilkan once again, $4.99 super chat. You have been on fire today, my friend. I appreciate the donations. We have the most objective fan base. You guys are an example. Chelsea podcast equal aura. That is definitely sarcasm. We do not have the most objective fan base, but I think we are objective here. Sometimes CP can be good, sometimes maybe shit. I can be good, sometimes maybe shit. Chris is definitely shit. But it's okay.
I know. Also, big up to you, Ilkan. You're doing more work than our sporting director, so big up to you, man.
Yeah, you're putting in more money into the window than our sporting directors. But yeah, like, I don't know. The striker situation is a really complicated one. Felix leaving, us not getting Duran. I don't think it was ever going to happen in January for Duran, to be honest. I think that was all a pipe dream and just clickbait. And Disasi going, like, let Disasi go. I hope this does materialize because we don't have the here we go on that yet. But let Disasi go and go to Aston Villa.
Hopefully one day we sell him.
Listen, I went over it on this video yesterday. There are 16 to 17 players in this squad that need to have their minutes managed. Having 1 or 2 or 3 of those players go is not going to kill this club. I'll just be so honest. And that is less work on Maresca, because I think a lot of people are pointing at Maresca saying like, oh, you're not being fair with minutes. Oh, the conference league doesn't count. Oh, he can manage 16 players. And I think it's not 16 additional players to his best 11. I think that's a load of horse bollocks, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so let me move on to the next topic. And I'm going to go straight to this one because I feel like I don't want to put off this impression that I am trying to stay away from the courts. I will come and explain myself and defend myself. But before I do, 80 of you guys in the chat, smash up that like button because it helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And hey, listen, where else are you going to get content like this? Hard pressed to find good Chelsea content. Hard pressed to find non-bias or trying to be reasonable, objective Chelsea fans. So hey, big up to you guys here. Smash up the like and subscribe if you're new here. Okay, Garnacho. I have to answer for crimes apparently, so we'll do that.
The
so
two
let's
people
start
who
off.
wanted you for crimes too is not here. Who is it? Andrew.
Well,
and,
one of them is CP.
Oh, CP. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
CP is. Andrew's not here, but
I'll relay to Andrew. I'll
He'll
relay.
relay. Wait, CP was the one that narked me out to Andrew to begin
Yeah,
with.
I know.
This guy, man.
No, I didn't know.
This guy.
No, Flawless did. We were all watching the Man United game on Sarcasm City playback, and then Flawless is like, because we were like, oh shit, we might get Garnacho, and then Flawless was like, oh, like Marcel was like defending Garnacho, like he was doing a whole positivity thing. I'm like, me and Andrew are like, what?
Fuck off.
We're like, and then me and Andrew are like, what? We're like, okay, we gotta take care of this. We have a stream with him later
Flawless.
today, so we'll take care. So he's
Flawless.
He's the narc. We didn't know about this.
Flawless, man. All right, big up Flawless, bro. I was just on a stream earlier today. Big up to him. Okay, so let's read into this. Garnacho interest is still alive, and then I have to explain myself. So Chelsea have not yet shown official interest for Garnacho. According to Sky Italia, Napoli set to resume talks with Manchester United over Alejandro Garnacho. We continue on. Most noise in recent days has been centered around Chelsea signing Garnacho, but nothing has progressed beyond interest at this juncture, according to Simon Johnson. This was 2 days ago, by the way, ladies and gents. Alejandro Garnacho remains a player of interest who Chelsea could bid for, but talks over United winger have slowed down over the weekend. Chelsea are willing to bide their time for Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho, that being a deal which could go down to the wire, according to Kieran Gill. Continuing forward, Chelsea do not give up on Garnacho and are expected to make a move in the final days of the window. Oh, he's back. All right, there you go. Big up.
I'm behind my meal, bro. You know what I mean? I was eating.
Yeah.
What did I
there you go. He's energized now. I'm going to court now for Alejandro Garnacho.
What have I missed before? What was the previous topics we just talked about quickly?
Duran, Villa. We'll come back to Duran after this. Remind me, because I got to press you. United are aiming to sell Garnacho and bring in Matheus Tel on loan, while Garnacho's destination is still to be determined. Tel is understood to favor Old Trafford out of range of potential options. That includes Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. We continue on here. There's still a realistic chance that Garnacho leaves Man United before Chelsea transfer window closes. Keep an eye on the Chelsea right until the end, according to Ben Jacobs. And we have here from Nico Shira. I think this is a Sky Sports reporter. Expected in the next few hours, new direct talks between Napoli and Manchester United over Alejandro Garnacho. As revealed on Tuesday, Napoli are ready to submit a new bid to Manchester United to sign the winger. The sporting directors Giovanni Mana is at work. What else do we got here? Is that everything? Oh, I got one more. Chelsea haven't given up on their pursuit of Alejandro Garnacho and will accelerate their move in the last days of the transfer window. So, still no bid for Alejandro Garnacho, by the way. We've been waiting and waiting for a bid. There's still no bid. Still no bid. But what I will say on the whole Alejandro Garnacho situation, I'm going to emphasize this. I do not want the player. I think the player has a shitty attitude that will only become worse here at Chelsea. The fan base do not want him. The very first game, I guarantee you that Garnacho plays for Chelsea, if he were to come to Chelsea, we're going to just hear boos, and then the player's going to come out and cry about it on Twitter with his brother, and it's going to be a whole fiasco, and we're just going to hate the player.
Why are you not talking about his brother, bro? What's going on, man? Like,
is it his brother or is it his cousin? I don't know.
His brother. You're right. That's his brother.
I don't know, man. But you always keep talking about this guy's brother. I'm like, what's going on?
I've never mentioned his brother. I've never mentioned his brother once. This is the first time I ever mentioned his brother.
There's something going on between Roberto Garnacho and yourself, bro. Like,
his brother's a problem. His brother is problematic.
It is.
Just like we remember back in the day when rest in peace Mino Raiola. Mino Raiola was a problem when we talked to players. So there's players that are associated with people that can be problematic to the club, and Alejandro Garnacho, as well as his brother, can be problematic to the club. I don't want him for that reason.
There we go, man.
The other thing,
Marshall stereotyping.
I'm not stereotyping, but the other thing,
it's okay. He can.
It's
okay. He can. He's from South America.
Jesus Christ.
He gets the
there
pass.
You go. Fair enough. On top of it, though, I think for the price that he's being priced out at, it's a ridiculous price. And apparently now it's 70 million euros or pounds. I think it's euros.
No, it's the same price, bro. It's 59 million pounds, basically. So
yeah,
59 million pounds is insane.
Also,
for this player.
Marshall,
I think
there's
it's
an
way
update
too much money.
There's an update on the Napoli side. They're going for some guy in the Belgian league now instead of Garnacho because Garnacho's too expensive for them.
I hope Garnacho's too expensive for us too. I'll be so honest with you. And it doesn't make part of the reason I don't think it's going to happen is because, well, actually, Ahmed, I think Ahmed said this or someone said this. The Kavicha deal was done way beforehand. Like it was done way before.
Yeah, it was done last summer. He was supposed to go to PSG in the summer.
So that's neither here nor there. But you know what? Joey said that earlier, actually. But with the whole Garnacho thing, do I feel like it's been overblown? To an extent, yes. Because I do feel like he's 20 years old. He's not entirely shit. In front of goal, he sucks. In front of goal, he's not clinical at all. And it kind of goes against his whole goal-scoring winger thing, right? I do think he's being looked into as a replacement for Mykhailo Mudryk. Because there's the two wingers on each side kind of thing that Maresca likes to do. And I do think that there is a Man United tax on the player as well. That there could be a possibility that if he were to leave United, we do see the best of, not the best of him, but we do see an improvement on his performances. So that's what I said to Flawless, essentially. That's the point where I'm like, I don't think it's a completely shit transfer like people like to say, but I am against it in terms of the price and the attitude, and I think in front of goal. I just rather spend that money on a Kavicha, right? I'd rather spend that money on a more proven player than a Garnacho. But I'm not going to crash out on Garnacho if he were to come to Chelsea.
So
I would back the player.
There was literally a stat comparison between Madueke and Garnacho, and Garnacho's worse than Madueke, and they only have an age difference of 2 years, and they've both been playing in the Prem for the equal amount of time because Madueke joined us 2 years ago, and Garnacho's been with them for 2 years as well, graduating from Carrington. So and he's worse than Madueke at take-ons. He had like that 23% take-on rate. And if you're talking about he's replaced from Mykhailo Mudryk, so basically a pace demon. I already have a pace demon in Neto.
Yeah.
I got that. So why do I need Garnacho? And you're saying United tax, dude, just because it applied for one player in Sancho doesn't mean it needs to apply for every player.
No. It doesn't apply just to Sancho. It applies to almost every United player. Fred goes to Fenerbahce. All of a sudden, he's pretty good for Fenerbahce.
Yeah, but that's Fenerbahce. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then let's look at De Gea. De Gea leaves. All of a sudden, he's one of the best keepers in the Italian league or Fiorentina. He's resurrected his career. Look at McTominay. Motherfucker's first in the Serie A right now.
Yeah, but
the United tax is real.
Okay, no, but he's playing the exact same way as he was for in Napoli as he was for United. He's a box crasher. It's just that for United they played him as DM instead of a box crasher at times. And if you want to do this thing, then I'm going to do it on one of Ahmed's boys because he was Gallagher Nation. oh, look at how well Gallagher's doing at Atletico. Now he's getting sub minutes like he's Saul. He's English Saul right now for them. He's playing at the left. He's literally because he's playing left mid and he's not even getting lots of game time now in the past few games. So he's turned into English Saul. This whole he's doing so well in the beginning. Yeah, that hype job died, right? And he left a toxic Chelsea side to join Simeone, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't think Garnacho's good enough. Not even close.
I don't think so either. But I don't think I don't think he's utter rubbish like people like to say he is.
No, it's just he has no brain. He's like a Mudryk. He's just
I do agree with that. I think the kid is an idiot, and I think his attitude. That's the one that turns me off.
No, not even his attitude. He just doesn't have a footballing brain. I'm saying that's what I mean. He just doesn't have a footballing brain. He doesn't have a footballing brain.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that. I have seen him get with the ball in the most ridiculous positions.
You guys had your
laziness, so on and so
beef
forth.
talk about Garnacho yet or not?
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah, go for it, bro.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. I've stood court. I've stood trial.
I think for me, listen, you've heard my theory as to why we've been going for Garnacho, even Tell to an extent. It's sadly because Mudryk, I think Mudryk's time at Chelsea, it's looking like it's pretty 100%. Much over, right? Right?
Yeah, it has
so
to be.
yeah, and so, again, Garnacho, I look at him, I just don't think he adds enough quality to the team. I think for me right now,
oh my God, I'm really behind.
Whenever I'm looking at signings and stuff, the reality is, boys, we need guys right now that are going to add value to the team straight away right now. I don't really need guys that are going to be projects, with all due respect. And I think Garnacho, realistically, in the best term, if I'm being the most charitable towards Garnacho, is a project right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So that's what I think it just comes down to for me personally. So but I think for me the sad reality is, guys, I think he's happening now because I don't know if you saw like 30 minutes ago there was a report that just came out from Fabrizio talking about how Spurs have guaranteed him game time. They've already gotten a bid accepted. They're doing everything they can.
About Tell?
Yes, about Tell. And so for me,
right here.
No.
Chelsea have been pushing for a permanent transfer of Mateus Tell since the beginning of January.
It's not this one. It's not this one.
Oh, okay.
But to go to the actual Fabrizio, you can just type it there. I think it's he's either second or second. Yes, this is it. Yeah.
Tottenham represented their project to Mateus Tell and his agent with the game time as a key factor. Spurs also had direct meeting with Bayern to guarantee €60 million fee in case Tell decides to accept. Mateus needs some time to decide, with several clubs keen and in talks. Okay.
So for me, it's really looking like this guy's time. This guy's not coming to Chelsea. The reality is, there was a report yesterday from Kieran Gill, if I'm not mistaken, saying that Chelsea are just waiting for the final days, really, which is basically what we're in now, to basically try to get the Garnacho deal over the line because they apparently believe that United is going to reduce the price for some reason, right? So
no, because they did that with Sancho, remember? So they're thinking it's going to be a repeat.
Yeah, that's what they basically think, right? But at the end of the day, I think he's coming to the club. I think we just need to accept it at this point, sadly. And we just gotta be prepared for it, man. I'm not happy about it at all. I feel like this again, a position that does not need to be focused on in January. You could have done this in the summer, realistically, if you wanted to, bro.
Well, hold on. Let me show you a tweet because this is why I don't think it's going to happen, because we don't necessarily have to bid for him now. Look at this tweet from Kieran Gill, same guy you just sourced, right? Chelsea are willing to bide their time for Manchester United and Alejandro Garnacho, that being a deal in which could go down to the wire. Willing to bide their time. So I feel like if they do want to go for Garnacho, if the price isn't right in the summer, there was another tweet, and I think you probably saw it, both of you guys probably saw it, where they were saying if they don't get a winger, they believe that Tariq George could do a shift.
Yeah, I
in
saw that
position.
bullshit.
Yeah. So I think I agree with that's bullshit, because if you believed in Tariq George, you wouldn't even be linked to the
You know why?
stuff.
You know why? Yep. I get what you were saying on the Tariq George thing, because I saw that. But you know what it is, Marshall? Yeah, I think the problem is I don't think they believe that, and the reason why I say that is that we would not be going for Garnacho, Tell, and all these guys in the first place if they believe that Tariq George could put in the shift for the second half of the season.
No, I agree with that, but I think I think they. Real quick, before you continue to point B, right? What I'm trying to say is that I think they're willing to wait until the summer to get the price that they want, because they have a Tariq George that can be the placeholder until they get the left winger. Not that they believe in him and he's going to progress, right? But go ahead. Your point B, yeah.
I think the problem is I think, yeah, I don't know if you know this. Rashford's been, United still not been able to move on Rashford, right? And like they're basically trying to, I think Chelsea are really trying to take advantage of that reality, bro. They're really trying to take advantage of it to get him done now, in my personal opinion. And listen, again, if you look at the total price right now, by the way, total price is gonna be 60 million euros, bro. Right? That's only 10 million euro different from Garnacho, bro. And they're willing to pay that. So they could just do a 60 plus 10 million add-ons here for Garnacho, and you've got the player.
Can I go ahead, Curry? Right, Curry.
No, Ahmed, I just had a question now. Just for the Tell thing. Now I'm questioning his mentality, because if this man is wanting game time but willing to go to Spurs, who are 15th, instead of any other club in the world, like he can go to Frankfurt right now. They lost Marmouche. Like he can go to Frankfurt now.
I actually thank you, Curry, because that's actually what I wanted to bring up. Right?
Or go to Marseille or something on loan, even. Or
I'm surprised he didn't go on loan to Marseille or some of those other clubs. By the way, I was very shocked by that. Yeah.
And if he wants game time that badly, I'm sorry, Marseille. If he wants game time that badly, but he's
Marseille is guaranteed. By the way, Marseille.
I know. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how he's like, oh, I want guaranteed game time, and he's going to fucking Spurs who are 15th, and it's Spurs.
But that's one thing I want to clarify, right? Because we were talking about Tell earlier, and I obviously I didn't want to interrupt the conversation. I wanted to keep it going. But one thing I want to clarify, because I predicted this on Twitter, that people were going to crash out and take it as like, oh my God, this is the level that we've dropped down to at Chelsea, that Matthias Tell rather go to Spurs than Chelsea. Can we please, and I know, Curry, you keep saying, like, you keep using logic. I can't help it, man. I'm wired this way.
It's okay. You're a logical person. Lots of people.
Can we please, like, take a step back and look at this logically, right? Do you really think Matthias Tell is going to give up Champions League chances, right? A chance to play in Champions League, a chance to play in Bayern, right? For 15th place Tottenham, because they're better run institution than Chelsea. Do you really believe that?
And also,
I know you guys don't. I know you guys
don't. And the game time doesn't make sense because they paid literally 60 million for Dominic Solanke, so he's not going to be a starting striker for them, right? Because they literally got Solanke this summer.
No, I think Matthias Tell walks into that team. By the way,
no,
as a left winger.
No, but he's not because
Son is that, bro.
No, because Son's on a decline.
And
he's the captain.
Son's on a decline.
No, but that's their captain. They're gonna play him. Yeah. He plays most of the time.
Just to back you up, CP. Realistically, I think Son probably's got another 2 years in the tank, bro.
Yeah,
probably.
Right? Yeah, and so I think for me the problem is he probably wants to take advantage of the fact that there's no nothing for him right now, right? That's what I think is probably gonna happen. Yeah. And I think for me the reality is, and realistically speaking, if game time is so important to him, and he's willing to sacrifice everything else for that, then that's on to him. He's probably adding to his calculations. If I go to a Spurs or some other club, I can play there for a season or two, do really well, and then I can probably get moved on, right? I think that's probably what I think.
But the thing is, Spurs price out people. That's the stupid thing, because it's
I know, bro. Listen, I know what you guys are saying. I know what you guys are saying, but like the problem is that's what he's thinking, innit? And again, I think with these. Go ahead, bro.
No. I want to ask a question because you guys brought it up, right? Like, I was talking to Jacob earlier about it, and I was telling him, like, I kind of just hope you get Matthias Tell because I'm so sick and tired of this Chelsea fan base, right? He was telling me he doesn't think it's going to happen because they don't pay that much great wages. Do Marseille pay better wages than Chelsea and
Bro, no. This is League 1 is a poverty franchise, bro. They don't pay. They basically pay championship wages, bro. That's like 60k a week, 40k a week, 50k a week, bro. They're basically on like
So even Spurs can pay better wages.
Yeah. Because remember, he's like when Bayern brought him from Rents, he was an academy graduate, bro, and he wasn't on that much money. Bayern, he probably wasn't even on that much money either. He's now going to Spurs, he's not going to be on that much money either, bro. So that's the thing. And I think, again, this is where it comes down to what I was saying, Marshall. He probably thinks he can be here season or two, break out, and then go back to wherever he wants to go back to, bro.
And listen, right now, with where Spurs are, he is going to get minutes. Like, he is going to get playtime. Like, Solanke's out for a few more weeks. Son, what probably is going to happen is either Son gets moved to the striker position, Mateus is into the left wing position, and that's how they go about it until Dominic Solanke comes back. Or
When you bring up the last comment, because I think the last comment, yeah, I want to add to that. I think I think right now at Chelsea,
that project makes a lot more sense than Tottenham right now, 15th. Telling you that right now, brother.
Tranquilo.
That's what I'm saying.
Tranquilo.
Go ahead.
But I think though there is some level of like truth to what Bruno is saying though, right? I know a lot of the Twitter guys are going crashing out crazy, but on some level there is truth to it, because if you look at the guys that have come to Chelsea, right? Yeah, that are young, upcoming elite players. Realistically, if your name is not Augusto, really Palmer, Jackson, Madueke to an extent, because he's basically like a star for us essentially, right? So, yeah,
he's been here 3 years now.
Yeah. Kobel and realistically, everyone else has been here. Casadei, all these other guys, like, you know what I mean, right? They've not worked out at all. They've not been given any good minutes. And another good example, recent example, this is what Renato Vega is now at Juve, for example, right? So
yeah, we have
on
a
some
laundry
level,
list of bad loanees and bad developing players.
So on one level,
I get that.
As a player, you're gonna start looking at that as well, and that's not even 100%. Before we try to come into you, right? So that's a balance. This is why again, I think sometimes it's too extreme on either side, right? We need to have a little bit of a balance here, right? I know going to Tottenham Spurs to 50 minutes is not great, but they can do something that we can't do, which is promise him guaranteed minutes because of the amount of injuries they have. We can't do that because we got Sancho on there. Sadly, I think it's not going to be as competitive as Jackson and himself, right? And obviously, the other thing I would probably say is the stuff that's happened with Renato Vega. Some of these other guys barely getting any minutes. Felix getting barely any minutes, and Kunku's getting barely any minutes as well, bro. Yeah, that's what it is.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think what turned him off from Chelsea that made him choose Spurs is what Ahmed just said, the project in terms of
No, but there is no project. There is no project. They don't have their 15th. They're not going to be in any form of Europe next summer. And just on the chopping block as we speak, because if he doesn't beat Liverpool, I think he's going to get axed sooner or later this season.
I think so too.
So there's no project. And on top of that, Levy's stingy as shit. So if you want to move, he's going to be like, oh, give me 70 million for Matisse Tell to 100 million. Because we've seen how he did that with Harry Kane.
No, it is though, guys.
Season in, season out.
I've got the perfect guy to blame for all of this thing. Yeah, you know whose fault all of this is? Enzo Maresca.
Oh my god. Okay, I mean
No, I get that to an extent.
I get it to an extent. Yeah, I get it to an extent.
But I'm blaming Tell for not thinking it through. I'm not saying it has to be Chelsea, but think it through. It's fucking Spurs, my guy. You have other options in this world.
Look at where they are. You know what I mean? Like, look at 15th place. Like, you're not getting Champions League minutes next season. You're not getting Europa League minutes next season. You ain't getting even Europa Conference League minutes next season in the place of where they are, right? Because when all those players are fit, you're going to potentially be scrapping for minutes. Like, let's be honest. When that team is fit, I don't think he gets ahead of Son on left wing. I don't think he gets ahead of Dominic Solanke at striker. I don't think he gets ahead of Kulusevski in attacking mid or in one of those attacking mid positions. And who's their right winger? Brennan Johnson. Maybe you get ahead of Brennan Johnson if you were to switch over to the right wing.
Kulusevski can play in the right wing as well.
And Kulusevski can play in the right wing if you want to put Madison as a 10. Yeah, exactly. So I agree with CP where you're not. It seems like you're not thinking it through entirely. You're looking at the right now instead of the bigger picture. And to an extent, when you look at the bigger picture at Chelsea, yeah, your minutes could be, you are taking a risk with your career because you don't know if you're going to get the Santos treatment or if you're going to get the Casadei treatment.
That's what I was telling. That's why
and I get
very nuanced. That's why it's very nuanced at the end of the day, right?
Like, you could compete for minutes, right? You could compete and try to get minutes over Jadon Sancho. You could compete and try to get minutes over, but it's stiff. The closest, you could either try to go for the left wing or you could try to go for the striker. And I think if he does come to Chelsea, he does temporarily bench Jackson, but it won't be long until Jackson gets his starting position back, and then he's back into that same position he's at Bayern. So I get it. It's nuanced, very much like what Ahmed's saying. Before I move on to the final two topics, Ahmed. On Duran.
Okay, bro.
So we were talking on Twitter, right? And listen, I'm hostile to everyone on Twitter right now. Everyone's my enemy on Twitter right now, man. It's a war zone in Twitter.
Me and you need to have a conversation behind the scenes because you're crashing out too much. So I need to. I need to have like a very good mate. A very good mate.
This window is too much, bro. Yes. This window's too much.
You know, I mean, like, there's one quick comment here before I talk to you privately after the stream.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
The essays on Discord is crazy. I can't lie to you, bro.
No, that's
crazy. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I didn't know I was doing my PhD, bro. You know what I mean? I've already done too much university level work.
Who's doing essays on Discord?
Me.
You know?
Really?
Yeah. Listen.
Just check the chat, bro. Check the chat. That's what I'm saying.
Check the Discord, people. I went into full debate bro mode. That's exactly what I did.
Bloody hell, bro.
Yeah. FIFA than working on essays on Discord, man.
Bro, I should have been playing FIFA instead of fucking doing essays on Discord, to be honest. But hey, it is what it is. No, because it triggered me the wrong way. And you know what it did? It ensued the video that I did yesterday. That's what essentially happened. So I went on a 2.5 hour stream.
Yeah, remember how
as a result of
that. Remember how it's supposed to be an hour long?
Yeah. No, this is Chelsea hour plus, okay? It's Chelsea hour plus, all right? Allow me, all right? Chelsea hour plus, because there was a lot of bullshit that I disagree with that was going on. But hey, if you want to know about it, check out the stream from yesterday where I basically talked about why the problem is much bigger than Maresca. But okay, Ahmed, with Duran, here's why I think we were never in for him in January, right? It doesn't make sense to me how in the summer he was much cheaper, right? Because he was at the end of a contract, or he was in a much cheaper wage in a contract. He re-signed after he didn't work out with us, right? It doesn't make sense to me how we didn't get him then, because and then when we didn't get him, we came out and said there was an attitude issue, right? Sure. And I hope that's the same reason we don't go for Garnacho, by the way. If we're keeping it consistent, if that's actually true, then we don't go for Garnacho, because Garnacho has clear attitude issues, right? So for me, if we're keeping it consistent, then if you're not going for him in if you didn't get him in the summer because of attitude issues, why would you then go back for him in January when, one, he still has those attitude issues? Hasn't changed in 6 months. It's not going to change much, right? He's still the same player. Two, he's more expensive. And even if we were to go back for him and that didn't work out, right, for attitude issues, then why wouldn't we just go back for Samu, who you say we burned the bridge, but listen, this club, are shameless, man. They burned the bridge with Chalobah and they're like, oh, no, we made the right decision. They could do the same thing with Samu.
The problem, okay, so I'm going to address, I feel like in your initial tweet, you're being very charitable. The problem was, bro, we were trying to get this guy for the past 3 windows, bro. That's the problem I have, right? Sure. And then to use the excuse of behavior again when we've apparently gone did the thing of like inquiring about him again this window, knowing his behavior, for me is kind of egregious in my personal opinion, right? We can't keep on using the behavior excuse when we're still trying to inquire for the player. Like it you know what I mean?
I just don't know if we're inquiring. I just feel like it was journalists coming out and saying, hey, they're inquiring because they want clicks.
No, we inquired. We inquired, but we probably got priced out, and then
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like we actually are inquiring for these players, yeah. But the problem is, like, the price may be too much or something like that. But the reality is, we are inquiring for these guys, and it's not happening, right? So this is why my argument with you, bro, was that you're being too charitable to the club in that aspect. Because like this is actually happening. We are doing the free window thing of tracking him and trying to get him. We can use this behavior excuse, but we have gone in for this guy, regardless of the behavior. Like, let's be honest on that one. Now, in regards to the Simon Meridian thing, we did something a lot more crazier.
Yeah.
In my listen, the Chalobah stuff was very, very bad. Let's not get it twisted. But what we did to Meridian is equivalent to what we almost did to Tyler Adams, bro. But the thing is, he went through with the medical, bro. Obviously, the medical didn't go 100% correctly. And then we tried to do some D-dallying stuff. And we basically broke the player. Like, the reports came out that broke on Meridian, bro. He was like genuinely heartbroken, bro. How do you go back to someone that you broke his heart? He was in London. He had the Heavy
by having no shame, dude.
Bro, that is insane, Marshall.
How can you ask that? I don't get this though. You understand how they switched off their brain for the Samu thing, but you don't understand how they switched off their brain for Duran. Like that's what I'm saying. You're being too. Like I said, you're using logic too much. I want you to. You see the brain of yours when it comes to the directors. Turn it off. Turn it off. Okay?
When it comes to the window, when the window ends, I will turn off my brain. My brain will turn off.
You know what it is, Marshall? I just think
my
honestly,
brain, Ahmed, I got you. My brain will.
No, thank you.
Be done.
No, but like, you know what it is, Marshall? I just think sometimes, bro, I think you're just a little bit too charitable to the ownership and the directors. I think sometimes, bro, it's good to see stuff on an even level. Like, listen, you guys know me. I like to have a little bit of fun of stuff with Chelsea all the time, but I can always see from the weeds from the trees, right? Because I think a lot of the stuff, when news is coming out, there is some level of truth behind the news, innit? Like, yes, there's sometimes PR news, other stuff news, but it's about, as I always say to you before, and I've said this to everyone on my streams before, media literacy, understanding what is, like, probably true. Yeah, sometimes there's words that are used that you have to obviously silently infer before you can make that decision, right? That's what I would probably say. And in the case of Duran, again, we went for this guy, you know what I mean, etc., and we tried to get this done. We probably knew about his behavior stuff, but we thought because of how good he was, we could see through it. Almost like a Diego Costa scenario with the previous ownership, right? We thought we could do that basically because we thought his talent outweighs his behavior. It's something that happens in the NBA, happens in basketball, and all these other sports, right? But because we got outpriced because of our inquiry with Aston Villa, right? We've now got this back pocket excuse to use to the media. That's all it is, bro.
It just seems weird to me. Like, again, I'm too logical to turn this off and thinking like, you used this excuse before. Then again, to be fair, they have said lately the sporting directors and Maresca has said a lot of things that they kind of insult our intelligence, thinking like, you really think we're that stupid? Like, so you know what? It wouldn't also be surprising to me if they were to use the same exact excuse and they did actually inquire. Part of me does feel like they didn't actually inquire though, because there's like the biggest reason why I feel they didn't actually inquire is because there's no way they thought they could get him for a good deal. There's no way.
Bro,
after you tried the last two windows,
But I don't know if you know this, bro. We inquired for a lot of players, bro.
We probably did. Yeah,
we inquired. I don't know if you know this, bro. We inquired for Baleba, apparently.
Inquiry FC, bro.
But we inquired about Baleba and another player.
Yeah, I have it here for next time.
So listen, bro. We are inquiring for these players. It's just that again, maybe we're not willing to pay some of these fees because we don't see the value for them. But then for me, it does make me question the club on some level though. If you're inquiring for these players and you're not seeing the value maybe that some of these guys are asking for, then what are you seeing in Garnacho that makes you think the 59 million is value for money?
It's weird.
And Marshall, you should be used to this though. We're used to we're undercutting FC when it comes to buying shit and overcommitting FC when it comes to selling. We wanted we had for example, Harvey Vale is moving to a lower level team for chump
QPR.
change. QPR when Saudi was wanting to get him for 20 million and we fucking said no in the summer. Right?
Oh, yeah, true,
we have put price tags on Chukwuemeka on the release clause for 40 million while he barely plays games, and that's what we want. But then when it comes to us buying players, like when we were initially going for Caicedo, we first put a $65 million bid, then we put 70, then we put 75, then it was fucking 80, and then when Liverpool put their meat down at 110, then we're like, oh fuck, let's overpay now. You know what I'm saying? And we did the same with Lavia.
No, that's true. That's true.
Because Liverpool put a $45 million bid on Lavia, and then they're like, no, we want him for 50, and then we wanted to be a big FU, so we got him for 55. Right? We're underpay FC until we're pressured to overpay FC, and then we overprice our players too. So I'm not surprised that they were probably thinking that, oh, Duran has some game time now, he scored some goals, now he's worth the 40 million or even 50 million that we thought he is. But Aston Villa, like, dude, he's 20 years old, banging goals. He's taken Watkins' spot now when he's not injured or suspended. So why would I sell him for anything less than 70 million? And that's what they sold him for. They sold him for 75 million to Saudi.
Yeah.
When Watkins is literally turning 30 next year. Watkins is turning 30 next year. And he has goals in him. He had 33 GNA last year and they rejected. Like Arsenal did the same thing we did this year. Apparently I was talking to my Villa friend and it's not 60 million that they bid for Watkins. Arsenal came in with a 45 million pound bid for Watkins in January. Like that's going to fucking happen.
Yeah, honestly, when you put it that way, I do forget how idiotic our negotiating tactics are in terms of like what our starting bids become and such. So, you know what? I do see a world where they try to lowball the shit out of Duran, hoping they can get the price that they were trying to get in the summer. And
or a little bit more.
I could see that. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair play. Fair play. Going on, we got 2 more topics, ladies and gents. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like button. We're on our way to 70 likes. So what's up?
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to mark what's today's date?
Today is the 30th of January.
Okay, I just want to mark 31st.
31st
I
if
just
you're in
want to
the
mark
UK.
this date because this is one of the first streams where me and Ahmed have backed each other up on almost every point. So I just want to mark this date down because this hasn't happened yet. So I just want to, goddamn. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, you know what? That deserves a round of applause. Look at that. Look at that. Jonathan Duran bringing 2 Chelsea fans together. All right. So the other topic I wanted to bring into the discussion was this one. I think a lot of us forgot he existed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dacho Fofana is coming back to Chelsea. This is very, very sudden. It happened today. And before people say, I don't think he's going to be brought in to solve our striker problems. So let's get into it. So Gostepe have terminated the loan for David Dacho Fofana. Why is that? David Dacho Fofana is on his way back to Chelsea, according to reports. The reason being is that Chelsea are determining how long David Dacho Fofana will be out for and what the plan is for him next. But by recalling him now, an international loan spot is freed up. He has not played since being taken off injured just 8 minutes against Adana Demirspor last month. He has since had an operation to cure a thigh and knee problem, according to Simon Johnson. And then the latest here is that Dr. Fofana had an operation to cure a thigh and knee problem before his loan was terminated. Chelsea are determining how long the 22-year-old will be out for and what the plan is for him next. But by recalling him now, an international loan spot is freed up. Meaning we send some of these youth signings out for international loans, I guess. So, yeah. He's not being brought in as a solution for the striker.
Well, man, maybe he's being brought as a solution, man. You never know, man.
But he's injured.
Don't worry, man. He's going to be out for like 2-3 weeks, then he'll be back, innit?
Is he going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks? I don't know how long he's being out for.
That was me just playing a joke. I don't know how long he'll be out for.
No. Don't.
Apparently, S is saying Fofana's out for 4 months.
Yeah. So, no striker solution.
I just honestly think, bro, I think for me right now, the issue is it's just not tenable. Like, our current situation is not tenable. That's just the problem that we have right now. I don't know about you guys, but like, in terms of the striker position, it's not tenable right now.
Dude, don't worry, man. We're gonna have 2 strikers, man. We got Fofana coming in, and we got Broja coming in. Dude, we got 2 strikers now. We got a different profile. We're all good, man.
Broja's another one that's coming back. Yeah, I forgot about that. He ain't gonna do shit.
Man. Because of his injury too, he's out for the season basically.
Yep.
So we've got 2 strikers who are out for the season, but we're getting 2 strikers, man. Let's go.
Yeah, man. See, the thing is though, like, I think, like I said, for me earlier, I said this. I think we can get by just recalling Leslie and having a recall on Chalobah. I think we can get by just fine because I don't think Jackson's form is going to continue on to the rest of the season. I think he will eventually turn it around. I think we will eventually start scoring goals again. I think our biggest issue is that we need to stop conceding as many goals, which comes from the striker situation. And to an extent too, and I said this a few days ago, I almost rather, if you're not going to bring it back Leslie Ugochukwu, I almost rather you just bring back Petrovic. Like, if I had to choose one or the other, I think the goalkeeper situation is much more dire than the midfield one. Listen, I know any minute we could lose Caicedo. It's a big risk, but I mean, look at Liverpool and Gravenberch. They're taking the same risk too by not getting someone to back up Gravenberch. Because as soon as Gravenberch falls, who's to say their backup is going to be enough to, help them out in that situation or fill that gap. But that's just me personally. I don't think this is the worst thing, but I mean, in an ideal world, you would have the backup striker already. And it sucks that we don't. But that's just my 2 cents. David Fofana is coming back, but he is not going to be coming back in a role that's going to help us. He's just recovering from an injury. So he's not in the current plans for the rest of the season. And moving on to the last topic is the Casadei saga. I think it's finally coming to a close. So let's discuss it. So we have here Casadei. Early today, actually, Chelsea advanced on several exits. Cesar Casadei at Lazio, almost there as reported earlier. Santos closing in on David Washington deal. QPR on track with Harvey Vale, and Watford will sign Caleb Wiley on loan. All this stuff, which I will talk about in the next show because we kind of ran out of time. But Torino is still waiting on Chelsea to give the green light for Cesar Casadei's sale. And now Lazio is pushing again on the player side. Both clubs are convinced they are leading the race. This was 2 days ago. We essentially kind of had a bidding war between Lazio and Torino for Casadei, which, hey, that's nice. So Cesare Casadei is set to arrive in Rome this evening. Final bureaucratic details have been settled, with the figures now confirmed. Chelsea will receive 14 million euros plus percentage of any future resale. Casadei will sign a 4.5-year contract starting at 1.2 million euros per season. Talks continue with Lazio. Still no full agreement on Cesar Casadei's salary. More clubs have called Casadei. Lazio are working to get Cesar Casadei deal done with Chelsea and players' side today. Final proposal in excess of 13 million euros with sell-on clause included. Lazio would also discuss 2002-born center back Abakar Celia Strasbourg in separate deals. So another potential deal happening with Strasbourg, but that's what we have on Casadei. It's finally coming to its conclusion. And listen, if the actual sell-on clause is what I heard it was, which is 40%, that's a pretty good deal on Casadei, considering we loaned him out for a small fee to Reading at some point. Probably a small fee there alone as well with Leicester last season. And then we're getting our money back, essentially what we paid for the guy, and then a 40% sell-on clause afterwards, which I do think the player, if he does get playing minutes consistently, if he does play in his position, could potentially be a good player there, and we could sell it for a good chunk of change. So I think great that we finally got it done. Horrible that it's taken this whole entire transfer window to get it done. So there's that. Negotiating at a tortoise pace for our ownership. But what do you guys think on the Casadei thing?
We let the brother down. I feel so sorry for him, bro.
I do feel sorry for him too. Yeah.
Again, I just hope that this is not the story of many more.
I feel like he's gonna turn it around, but it's a damn shame that we kind of wasted about a year's worth of his career at Chelsea. One, for keeping him here this season because he got Conference League minutes really, and there was 4 matches he's played, and then substitute minutes last season. We wasted a year of his career pretty much. CP, any thoughts on Casadei, your favorite player?
Yeah, shout out to 6'4" Zaniolo. I'm glad that he's gone, so he can stop with this stupid hype job for such a mid-tier player. Cool. We got a Zaniolo for 13 million, and we're gonna sell him for a bit more. Cool story. I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully, he goes to Lazio with that 40% sell on. We'll get some nice 5 million extra money when he gets sold again for 25 million, and there you go.
I really hope he proves you wrong. Really do.
Yeah.
We'll come back here. We'll hold court for
Van
you.
Van Ginkel's total. Yeah, Van Ginkel also proved me wrong too, right, guys? Yeah, that happened.
Fuck is Van Ginkel, bro?
You don't remember
Van? Yeah, you don't know Van.
Why is that? It sounds familiar. I don't know.
Casually FC, man. Casually FC, man.
He doesn't know the legend. He doesn't know the legend of Van.
He doesn't know Marco Van Ginkel. Do you even know who Marco Marin is? Do you know who Marco Marin is?
Oh yeah, dude, the German dude. Oh, Hoops will never forget, man. Hoops will never forget.
That guy was meant to be the truth.
Marco Van Ginkel.
You know?
Yeah.
No shit, I put out the wrong name. Marco Van. Oh my god, my mouse is acting up.
Yeah,
Marco.
that's a throwback for all you Chelsea fans in the 2010s, man. That's a throwback, man.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not as an involved Chelsea fan back then. Yeah. Definitely don't.
You know.
Yeah. PSV back in the day when PSV was good, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's like, dude. Man. If you know, you know, man. Real hoops.
Holy shit. Yeah, I remember hearing about this person, but yeah, it won't be a Van Ginkel story. I promise you that. He'll be.
You know, we're doing the same shit to Caleb Wiley, by the way.
I hope not,
we're
man.
Doing the
That's
same
another
shit
one
right
too.
Now to
That's
Caleb
like,
Wiley
what are we
right
doing,
now?
bro?
As we live and breathe. Also did that to David Washington. He's going on loan back to Santos after we bought him from Santos for 20 million. Dude, he wasn't even. People in Santos wasn't rating him highly enough because they're like, dude. Everyone was like, "Why is Chelsea buying him? He's not even like a top 10 Brazilian young kid coming up." They're like, he needs another year to 2 years to develop to even be a top 10 young Brazilian kid.
So many things.
Who spent 20 fucking million on him, bro.
Yeah, but hey,
at least he gets to play with Neymar. Maybe get an autograph to him and bring it back to Chelsea.
Gets an autograph from Neymar. There you go. Hey, listen. At the end of the day, it all worked out for something, right?
Yeah. Sure.
He gets something out of it. He gets a Neymar autograph. Maybe sign Predators or something, you know?
Exactly.
Let me just see who I'm going to rate out to. Let's rate out to Flawless. Why not? Okay, cool. That's it, guys. Ladies and gents, that's the end of the show. Hey, listen, despite what Ahmed says about me being charitable to the owners, to the sporting directors, watch the video from yesterday's Chelsea Hour Plus, because I went on for 2.5 hours. Go and check out that video where I pretty much crash it on the sporting directors for most of it. But yeah, ladies and gents, I do. But yeah, ladies and gents, big up to every single one of you. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching the content, smashing up the like button, subscribing to the channel. We have been growing tremendously, and I do appreciate everyone that's been involved with that. We do have our memberships as well at 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And if you're at the proper casual membership and higher, we give shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to be to TM127, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian, A. Soliman, EPL Turf, Pels, SDFC, Benny, CAA Mafia, and Adam CFC. Big up to you guys for the memberships at the proper casual tier. Go ahead and copy and paste that raid message over to Flawless's chat. Let him know where you guys are coming from. And we'll be back again. What's today? Thursday. We'll be back again Sunday for transfer news, Monday for the game, Wednesday for transfer news, and Thursday for our predictions now that the transfer window is closed. Actually, no, Wednesday won't be transfer news. Wednesday will be a call-in show. So next Wednesday, if you want to participate in the channel, if you want to have your say, check out the call-in show. The first Wednesday of every month. That hurt my ears, but it's okay. First Wednesday of every month, ladies and gents, call-in show, the Casually Chelsea call-in show. Come on in, have your say, crash out, do whatever you want. Just don't get me banned. But that being said, ladies and gents, have a wonderful night. We'll see you later. And as always, stay casual. Peace.
Let's get out. To Kalau.